Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker. Go by One Who Parks on Discord.
This is Jeremy. Just goes by Jeremy on Discord.
And this is Aaron. I go by Treffinwood.
And welcome back for another super riveting episode of Infamous. Some quick announcements for today. Parker, you are conveniently down to 1,474 episodes of probation.
Yep.
I'm confident you'll climb out of this hole. At this rate, it'll only take you, 11 more years. That's not bad.
No, I think
you're doing good.
Yeah, but I mean, I have. You guys can listen to the ramble, but I think I have a good financial plan for this stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited to go. I'm going with some outside help, and I'm pretty sure. This
Getting
will be able to and I'm pretty sure that he's going to be able to help me manage this.
What's the APR? What's the APR on that shit? Like, are you going to make it? Like, are we going to need to throw in?
I'm willing to take high risk, high yield.
Okay.
I think this is going to be. I think it's going to work for me. I'm really.
God, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm not going to help you,
Parker. I'm cooking up some more stuff. I'm thinking about how about we do like as an extra odds thing, like an alternate bet. You're betting an amount of episodes, but then to sweeten the pot or to get better odds, I'm willing to take on some of those episodes as like a double down situation.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll talk about it once you come up with another bet.
Okay.
Have you ever been down 50,000 episodes? Do you know what that feels like?
Yeah.
Woo!
Got some real despair.
Oh my. Oh my.
Okay.
I'm all for the cash out option where Parker just says, "I'd like to go back to zero, please." Declare bankruptcy. And then just like do a great favor for me to get rid of these episodes entirely. We'll just start from scratch.
No, I think I'm gonna.
He will not.
The more I look at it, the more I'm confident this is going to work out.
He's comfortable with it. He's comfortable.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for all this professional advice to start coming in. Wait till he tells you what he's going to charge you.
I'm pretty sure.
An episode.
Finally, becoming a savvy investor.
I love that, I don't know if you're doing this on purpose, so I'm getting a lot of Zoidberg coming through.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Voice.
That's 100% one of the savvy investor, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, also, quick announcement, stay tuned after the episode for story time. We've got some hot stories this episode, so stay tuned for those. And without further ado, Parker, what's next?
News.
Hey, news! All right, let's do it.
We got so much hot news. You guys are going to love it. So
hot news action.
So wet right now.
The first one we got is Ulik card. Ulik is the rock troll. Guess what, guys? His actual name still Ulik. Doesn't actually change. That's my favorite part. Is that there's an alias even listed on his card. I think that's just icing for the cake. But Ulik is a 5-cost character, and to the surprise, I think of everybody, 5-cost character, and he's got 7 health on the front side, 7 health on the back. He's pretty much identical on back sides. He's got a size 3 with a medium base, physical 4, defense 3, energy, and 4 mystic. His basic attack is a 6 dice, range 2, physical, gains power for damage, and a wild push. His spender is 5 power for 9 dice. Range 2, also physical. After this attack is resolved, automatically gives stagger. And then he has a really weird ability called Shatter. If he gets a crit, wild, hit, and skull. So everything except a block shows up. Block or a blank. Yeah, block or a blank shows up. Then the opponent gets stagger. And if he does not have an activated token, you may give it an activated token. Instead of instead of stagger, you give it an activated token. Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about that attack? We have to talk about that attack before we move forward, right?
No, let's just roll through it all.
Okay, cool. He has throwing objects only for size 4 within 2, medium for 3 power. He's got a strange movement tech for an action and 3 power. he makes a short advance, then a range 2 place, and then he makes his basic attack. He's got an extra power every turn, like an Asgardian, but it's called Trollish Temper. He's also got DR1 to a minimum of 1 passive.
Do we confirm he's on a large base? Or is he on a medium?
We are pretty sure he's on a medium, but let me look.
Okay, that looks right based on what I see in the picture.
Yeah, we're pretty sure he's on a medium. He's also a size 3, not a size 4, even though which makes sense for a medium base.
All right, you got through everything, right?
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, he's hard to kill. Crushing Leap seems weird. Why is it both a move and a place?
He moves really far with it.
Sure, but why not just say character makes a long advance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a character is placed range 5.
Right. So that's why I'm thinking that like a range 4 place would have been the equivalent.
There is one thing about it. A place makes sense, what you guys said, but the other thing is you do get to like move around terrain. So if it was an advance, then you could lose maneuverability. This might make him slightly more maneuverable around a corner or something like that.
And so that's what I was thinking. Being only size 3, there's a bunch of terrain you can't move over. But also being a medium base, there's a bunch of terrain you can't stand on. Mm-hmm. So it's actually noticeably worse than like the place 4.
Yeah, a place would be better, yeah.
I don't know, it's interesting. I kind of wish it was like advance and then throw yourself. That could be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That way you could like line up good collisions.
I read it 3 times.
Shit.
Yeah.
Will cost an action.
Oh my god. It's so just like charge. That's all it is. It's just charge.
It's not charge.
It is effectively charge.
But it's longer distance, but yeah.
Sure. And so it is charge at greater than his normal movement speed. That's all it is. I think it's incredible.
Well, but the weird thing though is that it's actually worse in some situations, because if there's terrain like right in the middle, you're like, okay, well I advanced short instead of medium, so I can't clear this piece of terrain I was expecting to be able to clear, and then I place 2, so I actually end up getting not quite as far as I would have gotten. Now it's just odd. It's kind of cool, like but it just seems odd.
He also unlike charge, he can't choose to use his bigger attack. He must use a pounder attack.
Well, it's just like ferocity with Malekith. Malekith has to do his builder. There are plenty of characters that have charge-esque abilities that require the builder.
Restricted charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So everyone's talking about, it costs an action. Well, yeah, but just like every charge is, a move followed by an attack. So it's basically
100% has to cost an action. Yeah. I was just saying that it would be interesting if they just replaced it with the throw instead of the attack. And so replace the placement and the throw with it, or and the attack with the throw. I thought probably would have been more thematic.
Sure, I could buy that if it's a move and a throw instead of the attack.
Short advance followed by a pounce, and then he gets to do whatever.
Okay,
but it's not what he has. So
sure.
Bad Manners is solid, but not great. I think we're going to see more of these activation token attacks coming out, because I think that's another way they're trying to combat large characters.
What is the likelihood of a shatter on a 9 dice attack?
30%.
Assuming you don't fuck with it, yeah, it's probably like 30%. Well, it requires you to roll a crit, which means the crit was in the initial roll, because there's just no way to add dice if you didn't get a crit. So you're really looking at 10 dice.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen a decent amount of the time he uses it, but the problem is, like, does it matter? I'm hitting you with a 9 dice attack. Like, what are the odds you're still alive?
Right. I'm totally with you. I think that attack is not why you bring him in any way, shape, or form, but you would absolutely consider it when you're staring at a model who just wakes up with 10 power.
Yeah, you don't take Doctor Strange because you're trying to give people an activated token, but it's sometimes you're like, oh, Thanos hasn't gone yet, and I have priority. Like, we're doing this. Like,
yeah, he does have a 6 dice size 4 wild push on his basic. That's cool.
So let me say I really like this character for my personal play style. So if I'm going to play a 5 threat or larger, they need to be beefy. Like, I can't play Scarlet Witch. Like, I understand she can own the world, but it just feels so bad when she gets one rounded by like a 2 threat. So he checks all those boxes for me, right? 4/3/4, 7 stamina, DR. He has action economy with his quote unquote charge, and he throws shit. Like, okay, like nothing bad about this if you want a beefy, brawly 5 to mix it up.
I don't see him getting played. Jeremy, what do you think? Do you think this guy sees his tape?
I mean, I think metagamers might do it because his rules are interesting. My problem is I don't know him. I don't really give a shit. Like he's kind of he's got some stuff he can do, whatever. But like for a 5-point slot, my God in heaven, there's enough models that are 5 points that I want to take.
A competitive spot.
Yeah, like
so. Yeah, like I think if you're looking at like if you were considering putting Scarlet Witch in your list, sure, he probably makes it in at that level. But the most people are taking 5-pointers. They're either leaders or very specific drop-ins, like MODOK or Juggernaut,
Red Skull.
Yeah, like those are the people he's competing with, and that's a hard list to break. Like, I mean, it's hard to get in the top 3 of 5-pointers.
So if you want to get in the top 3 of any model, drop like Rhino. Drop a card that becomes like irresistible.
Sure, and we haven't talked about his cards yet.
True.
But just for his basic loadout, he's basically just a 5-point Black Dwarf. Like he has the one thing Black Dwarf was missing, which was action economy. He's still power hungry. Like he doesn't have enough power to charge on turn 1.
He can't throw characters like Black Dwarf can.
You can't throw characters. You're relying on a wild push on a 6-die attack. Like, Like, what does he do other than be hard to kill? A lot of 5-point characters are hard to kill.
Black Dwarf has 1 more health.
I mean, he can climb through your army, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's his deal. He can climb to the back in one activation. He can go from one side to the other.
MODOK doesn't need to climb to the back, right? He's just got ranged attacks.
Sure, but when they're beyond range 4, like, he can murder them from the back. Yeah. And that's me saying, like, he has value. I don't care about him, honestly.
So, he hits harder than Juggernaut, sure, but he's easier to kill. He has less board control, in my opinion. He hits less hard than MODOK, but is probably a little bit harder to kill. He hits noticeably less hard than Red Skull, but is harder to kill. So, like, he's not standing out against any of the normal mainstays we see at the 5-point slot. Now, do Asgard need a big rock that cannot be moved in the middle of their list? Maybe. Like, I could see him maybe getting played in Asgard because their affiliation's kind of weird that way anyway. But at the same time, they're only leaders of 5-pointer, and half their models feel like 5-pointers at this point. They just got 5s and 3s. You can't just throw in another 5 and expect everything to work.
I think he gains mobility and toughness and sacrifices offensive output. I think your comparison to Juggernaut's pretty apt. I think you have to have a plan to use that mobility. For instance, let him charge turn 1 with Wong and just, threaten to put 6 dice and a size 4 throw into anyone who takes the center extract, right?
Yeah.
So I think that way can unlock some of his potential, but otherwise I think I agree with everything that's been said.
I think the only way this guy gets played right out of the box is if they use him for the new scenario stuff. Like, there's a lot of people trying to figure out how you can aggressively take the middle point. This guy's pretty good about standing in the middle and not giving a fuck. So if that's what all people care about, that's a pretty good way to start.
The one thing I will say...
Then,
go ahead.
I was just saying, and then once they lay into him and try and get him down, come up short, and you can, like, patch him up, and then lay into somebody, dropping, 10 dice attacks to activate people. They're not going to want to feed him power for no reason. But that was it. Go ahead.
I was going to say that one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't stop motion. He does get back on a point, but it means you have to activate him later. Maybe you're okay with that because he's pretty durable. But he's controllable. Like, you can just move him away. And if he's already activated, he's not going to be contesting. But like you said, if he picks up an extract, I think he's going to be great at picking up extracts. I don't know if he's going to be fantastic at securing unless he's going last or going later in the turn. But
yeah, it's a good point. Like, he doesn't have helmet like Jugs has.
Right. He's also size 3, so a lot of pushes and shit work on him. Unlike size 4s. Like, Black Dwarf is better at sitting on a secure than he is, but he's also this guy Ulik's much better at hunting down reds and picking them up. And like you said, you don't want to just give him a bunch of power and then fall short because he's going to open a can.
You know who wants this guy? Winterguard. He's exactly what they were hoping Ursa Major would be.
Yeah.
He's an unmovable rock that hits hard.
I just can't believe they made him 5 points. Like, that space is so crowded.
This kit can't be 5. Or can't be 4, sorry.
Right.
Like,
no, I agree.
But yeah, they designed him at a 5. I think it's okay that they made him a 5. I don't think he's bad. I think you putting him in a list and playing him doesn't directly increase your odds of losing, but also like he's not going to get played in the competitive list because he doesn't do what the other 5-pointers do.
Yeah.
Which is like be the unparalleled best offensive piece or like, Juggernaut, the most mobile, tank in the game. Like
Or like
he doesn't
Red Skull's amazing utility with his
right.
grunt. You're just like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like he doesn't do any of that S tier level stuff, but he's solid. Like there's nothing wrong with him. I actually like this. This should be the design point for a lot of models that come out. I think this is great game design. I'm just saying that he's not going to be in like top lists. Just like what's a good example? I think Gamora is a solid 4-pointer. I don't think putting her in your list increases the odds of you losing games very, very much. I think it does a little, but not a lot. But you can't have every 4-pointer be Black Panther, like, or the game explodes,
Right?
like, and I think even Black Panther still needs to be reined in a little bit because he's so good at what he does, and so I'm totally fine. This is a good release, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't expect him to get see play everywhere, primarily because of what Jeremy said. Nobody knows who this fucking guy is, and nobody's excited to play him. Right. That's why he won't see a lot of table play. Wow. If we just said in a empty universe, like completely blank canvas, this was Beta Ray Bill, he would be in a bunch of games because people want to play Beta Ray Bill, and this model isn't bad. But you flip it and you make it Ulik the fucking Stone Troll, and now no one cares.
Right.
If this was Agent Venom, people would be fucking shitting themselves to get it on the table.
Yeah, you're exactly right. There's something, and this is something I've said about a lot of releases. You're just like, they pull the weirdest corner characters out, and I guess you pair them up with a Beta Ray Bill and people still buy it. I guess that's the moral of the story.
What if this was Scar, or what's his name? Yeah, that's Hulk's son, right?
Yeah, Scar. Like this could be.
What if this was just Scar? Like people would be fucking apeshit to play this model.
Yeah, I might be excited about that.
Or if this was Abomination or something like that, people would go nuts.
Yeah, no, this would be a perfect release for one of those guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. That's a good point.
Let's talk about his tactics card because it's only him.
Yeah, let's do it.
So his we got tactics cards with Beta Ray Bill, but exactly his tactics card is called Rock and Troll. Great name. Unaffiliated. He may spend 3 power to play it. He drops all objectives and immediately places within 5 of his current position.
Excuse me.
When I looked at this, I thought this is a hat on a hat because he's already moving so far all the time. Except this is not exactly the same as what he does, but it feels very similar for what he does.
The only time you're going to play this card is when you are late into the game because he's got like a bunch of power, and you need to go from one far point to another far point because of the game has changed in some way. So you can Rock and Troll, place 5, and then immediately do his leaping charge thing, where he's going to move and place an attack. So you're talking about going medium base plus range 5 plus medium base plus move short plus medium base plus place 2 plus medium base plus range 2 to attack. And it's going to be 0 action economy in the middle of that. So he's going to literally cross the table and attack somebody. That's what you're paying the money for. But that attack has to be a strike, not his his spender. This card is terrible. I don't know why the hell you would ever play this, considering the only affiliation he's in is going to be the one that has Rainbow Bridge. Why would you? This would never make your 5.
I thought I read somewhere, it may have been supposition, he'll be Cabal.
Is it? Is he Cabal?
Again, confirmed? No. Read somewhere, some random chat. So
I could see him being Cabal because I think like Enchantress might be like she's in that like dark evil bad guy space. Sure. So he's in Cabal. I don't think that changes the math.
Sure. So
like you don't need it.
I agree with you. I don't think this card makes your top 5 unless you just want to play it, right?
Actually, hold on. He can play it out of turn. So if they control you after he's activated, you can get him back to a point. Or surprise, I'm on the researcher when you didn't expect it on a late turn. Yeah. So there is value.
Expensive.
This is still not making your fucking 5.
Yeah. So the more I kind of thought about this character, just again, not in depth, but as we've been talking and listening to you guys, I really think it'd be interesting to use him competitively as a hunt piece, like from turn 2. Like you often keep your 2s or your 3s in the back point somewhere, safe. I don't think anyone is safe from this guy, especially if you bring the card. But if you just say your job is just to go hunt the squishy models that my opponent has, assuming they bring them, like, oh, Gwen, where's Gwen at? I can get to Gwen. Like, I can get to any one of my opponent's models, and that's this model's job. I would be interested to use him in that fashion.
Is he that much better at it than Juggernaut?
God, yes.
Why?
Because Juggernaut only gets the one attack, and you can flub it. He can be
So it's 1/8 versus potentially 2 6s,
Mhm.
which he only gets when he's got 3 power, which he'll have most turns, but not every turn.
Obviously,
but Juggernaut also does the 1 auto damage potentially, so you're reducing the health pool of that model and then hitting them with 8 dice. And
Sure.
you have the push on a wild still, which is more likely to trigger if you're just trying to take a point.
On Juggernaut or on Ulik?
I mean, they both have push, but
Sure, but Juggernauts get
rolling-
he gets 1 8 dice, whereas Ulik will have 2 6 dice.
Potentially, yeah. He isn't guaranteed to get the 2, but yes, he is
Right.
likely to get 2.
I'm assuming that a Juggernaut move and slide is approximately the same as Ulik's quasi charge. I'd have to math it out.
Juggernaut definitely moves further. It's not a huge distance further, but
Right.
it's further. But also, Juggernaut can potentially do it multiple times, and so Juggernaut's almost always getting to what he's trying to get to.
I guess it depends what you're playing Juggernaut in. Like if you're playing him in Mags, Brotherhood, and he's got power at the ass, great. But I played Juggernaut quite a bit recently, and he's spending his power to take damage. He's not being powered up by Mags. So if you're playing him not in a Mags Brotherhood, I don't know that Juggernaut is moving around, pushing himself 4 times a turn.
Sure. No, it definitely having more power is relevant. I also think the learning curve of Juggernaut is when to intentionally take damage and not spend to use DR.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, I think he's competitive and I think he's playable. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, except that you're spending 5 points on a model that's supposed to hunt cheaper models. Now,
I
the whole
hate
point
him.
is he's supposed to do it efficiently, and so yeah. But I mean, any 5-pointer going into a 3-pointer should be winning. I don't like this card. I think it's a bad card because it costs 3. If it costs 2, I'll talk about this, but I think it's just bad at 3. I do like that you get the option to drop the objectives, though. I mean, legitimately, because now it becomes a pseudo mission objective. If you're range 5 away holding an objective, think about this. You go first, you pick up an objective, you back up, right? Like move forward, pick up an objective, back up. Next turn, you go to 3 power, you play this, you intentionally drop it next to one of your other buddies and place this guy up in the middle of everything and go nuts.
Except
And you're like-
your opponent would choose where the objective goes.
Sure, but like the whole point is you move backwards. And so
Yeah,
like if they're going to walk up point blank of like MODOK to pick it up, you're like, what the fuck ever, I don't care.
Sure.
I'll just kill you and take it back. Or fuck, Rhino, put another big guy back there that's mobile. Like, and so you've got this cool option now of like, I'm going to intentionally drop an objective to change the game state.
That's too many 5 and 4 pointers. I don't like all that.
Sure, so for that example, whatever. But yeah, but you see the point though, right? Like that now I'm gaining a way to drop an objective. Like what happens when they like think about the miracle Christmas play is they play Dozier and you just put his ass in the corner and then intentionally drop it on the ground and run away from it. You're like, whatever, go get it. And then you run by it and he's just fucking punching them right in the face, knocking them backwards when they're trying to get to it. It's just like pushing them away from the Dozier. And it's like way back in the corner. They'll get the bonus for attacking him.
For those of you who are listening, he's talking about the card Dossier.
I said what I said.
I know you said what you said.
Yeah.
I know you're trolling as hard. As
I
you
do.
can.
I do like
Anybody-
what you did there with Dossier.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
The Dozier?
Yeah.
So that in itself is amazing. So cool. Can we move on from this guy? I'm tired. I don't fucking.
Yes,
talk about
please
this guy
read the
anymore.
next card.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
So other cards we know are Brothers in Arms, which is unaffiliated Thor and Beta Ray Bill. May each spend 1 power to play it. While they're within 2 of each other, they both gain a passive called the Worthy. They cannot be advanced, thrown, or placed by enemy effects. Additionally, the character adds 3 dice to all energy attacks they make. So for those of you keeping score, Thor has his God of Thunder.
God of Thunder.
So that would then become a area 2 10 dice attack. That's all it does. Just area 2, 10 dice.
I have to jump in here.
Oh.
Just make sure that you understand that would hit Beta Ray Bill. Go
yes, yes. But does it automatically roll dice or just do a damage?
It does 1 damage, so
Right.
it's unavoidable 1 damage.
Right. So he does have the ability to spend 1 power if he would suffer damage to reduce the damage by 1. Can he do that?
Is it to 0?
Yeah.
Is it from enemy attacks?
It just says if this character would suffer damage, use the superpower.
Then he can reduce it to 0.
There you go. So Beta Ray does not have to take it. Beta Ray has 2 energy attacks. His 2-cost spender that rerolls dice if your opponent has flight at range 4 with 6 energy dice would become a 9 dice Summon the Storm. And God Hunter, his big spender, would become 8 dice base plus the character's size. So it's minimum 10 up to...
That's a big one.
Yeah, 11.
I also
12.
like
12 is
that,
the highest. Yeah, 12. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a big one. I like that you can play like Rainbow Bridge, move both of them forward, immediately play Brothers in Arms, and then just fucking wallop somebody if you've got like a bunch of power on Beta Ray, like you just got dazed. Flips him, you get priority, and you're just like, let's fucking go! Lead the charge.
As somebody who's been playing A-Force a lot, anything that says cannot be advanced, thrown, or placed, let me tell you, it's fucking great. It's wonderful. That's...
Actually,
I know... Go ahead.
So the easiest case scenario is for Beta Ray to have 5 power at the start of his turn, play this, and then he does his, whatever his middle attack is.
Summon the Storm.
Yes, summon the Storm twice. That, if all you think about is that as the floor for this card, it's pretty effing good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's spending 1 power on 2 characters to add 6 dice to 2 attacks.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Not to mention the anti-control component.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is worth 2 power on its own.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is that regardless of who has it, there's an option if one of them has a ton of power that you have an outlet for it. Because that's what it feels like. Anytime Thor gets like 10, it feels so wasted. Because you're like, okay, I paid to charge. I hit you twice. I go back to 10 power, and then I throw you. Now I have 3 down. Like, I end my turn with 7 power. Like, it feels so wasted. And so it's nice to have, like, an output. Like, okay, God of Thunder is actually scary now. Like, if he's doing, like, 9 die AoE or 10 die AoE into, like, a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not something you can just shake off. Like, that hurts. All right. Aaron, we had an illegal procedure on this. We forgot to get your trash scale on Rock Control.
You did.
So can we get your trash scale on that?
Sure. Trash Go and Rock Control's on -4. Probably doesn't make your 10, but it's cool to play around with.
That's very high for what I expected. I expected like a -8.
Ooh, it's not that bad. It has uses.
All right.
It's just not very good.
All right. Brothers in Arms trash scale.
Ooh, we're going to go 7.
Oh, I was going to say 6, but go ahead. Tell me why 7.
Ooh.
I think if you have both of these characters in your roster, it is... So a 10 is like an auto-include. It's Avengers Assemble, right? So I think it is, just because of what I said, the floor of that card can be, I think this is so good, it is a quasi-auto-include. It's like 80% include if you have those characters.
Yeah, if you're running Beta Ray and Thor, let's be honest, this card's in your 10. Like, you would have to be asleep to not be playing it.
So here's why I think it might not, after testing, make a lot of 5s, is because that means you're playing Thor and Beta on the same side within 2 of each other. Like, depending on the scenario, that might be too much of a commitment to one place. Like, if my opponent does that, I'll just like, fine. Okay, I'll refuse flank. Have fun with your, excessive amount of threat guarding 1 point.
Yeah.
But
if you have Rainbow Bridge, they can cover that gap pretty quick.
we're also assuming that Ulik will be, Beta Ray as Asgard, which he will.
Yeah. He's
Anyway.
Asgard.
I stand pat on my 7.
Okay. Jeremy, what do you think?
Bleh. Don't really care that much, honestly.
Okay.
Again, it's
right.
characters that I don't really know much about, and I don't really care.
Jeremy,
Good.
I've heard that you like words, though, so we're going to have you go first on the next card.
Okay.
Oh, mercy.
The one thing I want to say about Brothers in Arms is, I've said it with the last team up card. I think they are really starting to narrow down like what a good team up card looks like. They're getting better and better and better and better and better at it. I really like this one. So
Yeah.
it's good without feeling like you're breaking. It just feels like, oh, I wanted to play my 2 Thor type characters. I get a cool little benefit from that. It is a cool benefit. So the next one is called Scuttlebutt on Me, a reference to Beta Ray Bill's ship. The Scuttlebutt, which has its own like AI, it's kind of a snarky ship. For those of you who are comic fans of him, you would love Scuttlebutt because he's a great character. It has the ability called, I guess I'll do how do you play it. When an allied Beta Ray Bill or allied Scourge the Executioner makes an attack during the activation, after the attack is resolved, the character may spend any amount of power to play this card. The attacking character immediately performs the attack. So this is not instead of an attack, it's in addition to.
It's like Cruelty.
Yeah, it's like Cruelty. It is an energy, range 5, 2 dice base, but you do add attack dice equal to the amount of power spent to play it. So you buff it up with power off that character. It ignores LOS, doesn't matter from cover. After the attack is resolved, if it dealt damage, the character to play this card may throw the character short. And if anybody's wondering why is this a range 5 attack if you immediately had to do another attack and both Beta Rays and Scourge's attacks are shorter range, it's because they have throws associated with their attacks. So you can throw somebody or push somebody backwards and then hit them with this once they're over there and then throw them again with it.
It's also really good versus Lifesaver, like if you're trying to finish somebody off.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, go.
You're making me talk.
Go.
I think it's phenomenal. I love things that you can like slam power through and do more damage. And that's what this is. Like you can, and it's energy, so nobody's great at energy, at least not many. Yeah, it's a great card. I really enjoy this card. It's cool.
Parker, I have 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
First, why can Scourge play this card?
Okay, so I was actually just thinking that because I read Scourge out loud. I went, yeah, the Scourge was on this card the first time I read it.
If you don't know yet, we can circle back to that.
Yeah, circle back to me. I'm trying to know why would...
Can you confirm, is this an energy attack made by Beta Ray Bill?
No, it's made by the Scuttlebutt, the ship.
I think you're incorrect.
All right, wait, hold on.
The attacking character immediately performs the attack listed above.
I'm sorry. You're not talking about the card. You're talking about... I was talking about the fluff of it.
Functional. I'm talking functionality.
Functionally, yes. Beta Ray Bill would be making
So
the
if
attack.
Beta Ray was worthy at the time...
yes, it would become plus 3 dice.
We got there. Dude, he's going to have a spicy turn. I hit you for, what is it? Wait, it's 9 dice, right? On his Summon the Storm?
Yes.
To be 9 dice on Summon the Storm, followed by 5 die on Scuttlebutt on Me, which gets to throw that person, and then hit them with another Summon the Storm. Oh yeah, that's going to be spicy.
You want my rating on this one?
Yeah, hit me with it.
It's a 2.
Oh my god. Aaron.
Yeah.
We are now enemies.
Great. Yes, you can hate me for life. let me further explain.
All right,
I, with 0 testing, right? All these are new characters, and we don't play untested or unreleased characters at the store. I think Beta Ray is going to be power deficient. Like, to do what he just said, he has to have, like, 9 power. Like
5. It's 5.
Well, you said he has to have 5 to Summon the Storms. And then 5 on the Scuttlebutt. Sure.
Yeah. You don't have to spend any on Scuttlebutt.
Understood.
Okay.
I'm not sure a tactics card is worth 1 5 dice attack. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
And outside of that particular interaction with Brothers in Arms, if I'm just looking at Scuttlebutt, it's about the same as Cruelty. Cruelty costs 2. This one, to get to 5 dice, would cost 3, but it has a throw if damage is dealt. How often do we see Cruelty taken? Sometimes as the 5th card in a roster. It's nice to be able to finish someone off in that criminal list. Here, you're just doing extra damage, possibly throwing. I just don't see Beta Ray wanting to spend the power on a 5 dice attack when he could do a size 4 throw, or save the power to DR, or save the power for another Summon the Storm. So a lot will remain to be seen in testing, but Scourge usually wants the power to taunt, and then I think Beta Ray is going to want to do other stuff with his power than spend it on this card.
I disagree. I think this card's awesome. I think it's definitely going to get played by people for the first few weeks at least. But I think what you're going to see is, like we were talking about, you do the Brothers in Arms, he's going to spend then the 2 to do the Summon the Storm. You hit one 3-point character, like Storm, for example, you get the rerolls, and then you do the extra attack ignoring cover and line of sight, it's not that hard to get 1 damage through with a 5-die attack, and then you get to throw them in addition, and then you just shoot somebody else. Like, it's a great finisher card.
Storm's a bad example because you were never doing that because she's stealth. Or super stealth, not stealth.
You can just be within range 3 of her, though.
Right.
I'm aware she has stealth.
I don't like this card for similar to what Aaron said, which is it's cruelty doesn't see play, and it's any criminal does it. So if you have a list full of criminals, all of them have access to an extra tap. But this is just Beta Ray or Scourge, which, by the way, I found out Scourge is on the card because he and Beta Ray are good friends currently in the comics. They work together to try to solve one of Beta Ray's quests, and he gets along with Scuttlebutt very well. Scourge and Scuttlebutt are good friends. So,
okay.
And Scuttlebutt is the ship?
Yeah.
Yes, that's Beta Ray's ship that he's on.
All right, so hold on. So Scourge is really getting along with a ship.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out.
It's an AI ship.
I'm fucking out. I'm out.
It's an AI. Also,
it's basically a really big Roomba.
Nope.
That like wants to clean up the galaxy.
It actually looks like the battleship Yamato from the anime. If you've ever seen that anime, it looks almost identical to that. It's so identical, in fact, maybe a little copyright infringement. It's really similar to that. But yes, the AI that runs it.
I'm still out.
It's like the anime or the Tick series where one of the characters has an AI boat called Death Boat, and he calls it DB.
Yeah,
for short.
Nope.
Okay, fine.
Nope.
I like Scuttlebutt on me. I think it's a good card.
I think it's a good card. I just can't buy it.
There's very few things in the game that generate attacks without actions.
No, I agree. And there's also very few things in the game that just like channel Fireball, which that's what this card is.
Oh, I've got 8 power. Go the fuck away.
Yep.
Like it's just
Wham.
like blast somebody.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's the last card we have. That's gonna wrap up news, right, Parker?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So moving on, we're gonna cover our main topic today. We're going to do LVO predictions.
Oh man.
Dun dun dun.
So we're going to predict.
God damn
I think
it.
we're going to mainly focus on the invitational event, but we're going to predict what's going to do well in the event. And so this will be fun because the metas are becoming less fractured as people are starting to travel these larger events, and so especially with TTS League is forging on to merge all the metas together. We're seeing a lot more groupthink kind of float to the surface on MCP than we have in the past. Outside like the long running like meta staples like Thanos Black Order and stuff like that. So and Malekith for a brief period. Like those things obviously were so dominant that you couldn't not see them almost. So that being said, we'll go what do we think is going to win the whole thing? What do we think is the best single affiliation or I guess list archetype you could say, but I really want to lean into like which affiliations, but I'm pretty sure we're all going to say the same thing here. So what's going to win LVO?
Avengers. I'll just say it. Whatever.
I'll be the first.
Steve Avengers. Fine. Whatever.
Steve Avengers specifically.
Yep. Absolutely.
I want to concur with you, but I think some of the top players are going to shy away.
So
you're not picking Avengers, or you are?
I don't know.
Let me tell you this. I think that Steve Avengers is going to take it, and I think that anyone who is discussing the fact that Steve Avengers is out, or they're not playing them, or whatever, I think at the end of the day, they're sticking that in their box, and they're going to go with it, and it'll be just fine. I think they're going to do what they're saying they're not going to do.
Okay, I will agree with you then. You convinced me.
I mean, honestly, like, what's the best way? Like, Steve Avengers is obviously the easiest mode. Like, they have everything. Everything's premium. I don't get it.
They dominated 2022, and the Crisis Change did not in any way, shape, or form affect how they do anything.
Nope.
In fact, probably made it better.
Yep.
So,
and I think they're fucking with people. I think the podcasts are fucking with people. I think they are.
I think there's actually a lot of. I mean, I'm not saying everyone's just straight deceiving people, but I think a lot of people are trying to throw the scent off.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine that Avengers, And so we're not talking about popularity yet. We're talking about
No.
what's going to win.
Yep.
What's going to run the 6-round gauntlet.
Yep.
And come out on top.
They have the flexibility to deal with a bunch of different lists.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason what put me over the top is because I think X-Men and Brotherhood are both going to be very strong. Popular.
Agree.
I think they're going to be very popular. And if I wanted to specifically counter a bunch of physical damage, right, I might reach for something like Steve in Black Panther and just say, bring it. Even Natasha, right? I mean, that team says, maybe not the tankiest team in the world, but it's a pretty good counter to something that would be very popular in the meta right now.
Sure. Physical into Steve, what do you do? There's that's not an answer. There's no
Parker,
amount of
what's
dice
your
that make
thought?
that an answer.
I think I think your guys' point on the Avengers is what are people actually going to bring is a really good one. I think that's really smart. I think people are going to look at it and go, oh, I could play Black Order, or I could play Web Warriors, like some of these guys that didn't perform well, or Guardians with a drop in because you play 3 Guardians characters and then play your big guy. But I think Avengers are going to be what people reach for because the same thing I do when I list build is I look at it and I go, okay, how is this not done better in Avengers? And I often go, well, it's not. So I'm just going to play it anyway. And if you really want to win, if that's what you're traveling all the way to Las Vegas for, then how could you walk away from that conversation with yourself? I guess the one thing I'm thinking that might show up is Cabal. Because I think there might still be some really good players out there who want to play Malekith. Malekith is still really strong. I think there might be some really strong players wanting to win with Malekith. I think that might be the other thing that does it. Because Malekith, I think, can crack Avengers, and so I think some people will look at this and look at the meta and go, well, if everybody who's anybody is going to reach for that top shelf, what can break that top shelf? Malekith, maybe. So let's go play Malekith instead. And everybody's got a lot of experience with him. Everybody played him hard for 9 months or whatever, 8 months.
All right, so you're saying Steve Avengers?
I think it's gonna be Sam and Steve. I think it's gonna be a combo, so you go short or wide. And
I don't know that you can do both very easily.
Okay, maybe you got a point. I think Steve is the choice because he's a game softener. But I would not be surprised if there's like 2 Malekiths in the top cut, it wouldn't surprise me.
No way.
You don't think so?
What
Nope.
do you think top? Wait, well, just define what you mean by top cut. 'Cause there's not
Top
gonna be cuts.
top 8. Let's say 8, like top
Okay.
8.
There
So
will
basically
there will be 8
final
undefeateds after
zeros.
day 1.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think
So
after
day 2 undefeated, you think there will be 2 Malekiths?
I think that's likely because I think really strong players will reach for him instead of Steve.
I actually think it's the opposite. I think people that are good and very good players, but like they think that I think players that thought they were the best would play Avengers. Like if you honestly think you're the best player, I think you should think that you should play Avengers because they're the most consistent.
Mhm.
As where
agree.
Malekith is more of an RNG. So if you think you're really good, but you might not be able to beat the best people in a straight up fight, then you should lean into the RNG a little bit more and just basically hope you get slightly above average in those games.
Yep.
Then you should be playing Malekith because he's going to still be able to beat the average player, but like exceptionally, but also have a game because he always has a game. Like he might just go in and kill everybody.
Right.
Like there's nothing you can do sometimes.
And I think there's some good player. I think there's like a class of like super strong players that they play so many games. It's such a repetition. They kind of want to go into these things and turn their brain off. They don't want to go in here and try to do plans within plans within plans. And Malekith is exactly the kind of character that lets somebody who's had 100 reps just go, yeah, I know how to pilot this Malekith. I don't have to think about it. I'm just going to roll dice. If the dice show up, great. If they don't show up, great. Like I'm not going to try to puzzle this like I might with Steve. I'm going to just play Malekith.
Then what you're
Mhm.
saying is those people will not be on the second tier. Like they will not be on Saturday or Sunday.
No,
Like-
I think there will be a few because I think Malekith is that good. Is what I'm saying.
I think Malekith is good, but being able to save yourself 5 power a turn or 6 power a turn. I mean, that's fucking ignorant. Like,
save yourself. Oh, sorry. You're talking about Steve.
and that's on the low end. That's saying your opponent doesn't do anything to you.
I actually think Steve is easier to play than Malekith.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You think so?
Like, yeah, it's just button clicks. Like, this is the best attack I can make this turn. Roll dice. Steve, you're like, I have to plan multiple turns in advance to get this stuff done. And, like, there's more technical play. Like, Malekith is, like, the only real decision you have the entire game is when do you play Phantasmagorium.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
That's
The
why I
statement
like
you
it.
started with is Steve is easier. How is Steve easier under the
You-
description you just gave?
Did I say it backwards?
You said it backwards.
Oh.
You said it backwards.
Oh, okay.
Malekith
That-
is easier.
Yes, that's
And
what I
that's-
agree. Yes.
And that's what, I mean, honestly, that's my list entirely. Is my list is easy mode. Like, if you bring some shit, I'm hoping I dice you one time. All I need to do is dice you one time. And there's nothing you can do.
The
about
dice
it.
are inconsistent. Like, you're just basically hoping that
Yep.
the small sample size comes
Yep.
out in your favor.
Yep,
Which
absolutely.
is, I don't even think it's a bad strategy, right? Like
Mhm.
that's how he wins games.
Yep.
Like, that's just Malekith. It's like, if you're looking at, you need, let's say, 100 dice rolls to see a decent curve, and you pull 10 of those out, what are the odds that you win? Well, it's a
Mhm.
complete fucking coin flip. Like,
Yep.
you might make all 10, and you might make 0. Like, who knows?
I don't.
So
Yeah.
that's what you're putting. You're just like, we'll just remove your advantage by
Mhm.
putting all of the onus on the dice for one turn. You just jam him in there and say, it's like, you just won't kill him. That's my plan.
So what we're talking about is, are we 4 for 4 thinking that Steve Avengers
Yes.
is going to win this?
My original thought was Steve Avengers, and because 2 of you picked Steve, I was gonna be Dark Horse and go Sam,
Uh
and then Parker picked Steve. I was like, fuck it.
huh. All in.
I actually, one of the things that I like when you go to the big tournaments like this is, and you heard me really reach for it, is I don't always go for who got first. I know a lot of people say who got first, and they immediately glom onto that, and they kind of fixate on that.
Yeah.
I actually love seeing top 8 because that actually tells you
Right.
more about the meta, and that's why
Yeah.
I actually want to know what you guys thought. I don't know if we have time for this, but I wanted to know what you guys
Yeah.
thought because in my mind, I'll go first. In my mind, I don't know what the order is, but I see.
Hold
Go
on. Are you saying you're just gonna predict the top 8?
I'm just gonna say, let's say, like, I'm gonna make a guess about what the
A bet.
proportion of.
No, by a
things is
guess
out
you
there.
mean bet.
Oh, you want me to make a bet?
Well, I just remember the last time we bet on tops. It
Yeah.
went very well for you.
It didn't go very well at all for me. So I have.
Well, how about this? Hold on. We have stuff in place. Let's just continue with that. We'll come back to
Okay,
top 8.
I'm curious. Okay,
Right.
go.
So next up is most popular faction
Okay.
total overall.
Brotherhood.
More Brotherhood players than anything else.
Yep. Ship it. Although I do want to, real quick, one thing about it, circle back to what Parker you said. Do you think top 8 reflects the meta? I'm going to disagree with that because there's a lot of RNG in getting the top 8. Like, you could have 2 top players play
Yeah.
each other because it's going to be a bracket, like
Mhm.
picture like NBA.
Right.
So what I would look at is the 4 and 2s and above. If I want to take a look at the meta, I want to look at the lists that are 4 and 2 and above after the tournament's over. And I think
Okay.
that would be a snapshot of competitive meta.
Got
With
it.
a lot of small sample size caveats, right? Because it's still a 64-person tournament.
Sure,
But-
sure.
And I'm not sure
Alright.
how many 4 and 2s and above there are in a 64-person event. I could figure it out, but I don't know.
All right, I'm going with Avengers.
Most
Mm.
popular Avengers.
No, most popular.
Most popular affiliation.
Mhm.
Most played.
Oh, most played or most in your list?
Most played affiliations.
Okay, I stay with Brotherhood.
Yeah, Avengers would be easily top if that was the case.
X-Men's number 2, by the way.
So you're putting second most popular on X-Men.
Oh,
Jeremy, we're doing most popular affiliations. Aaron chose Brotherhood, and then he
Mhm.
throw in at bonus points. Second was X-Men. I said Avengers was the most popular affiliation. You and Parker.
I would say 50% will be X-Men.
50% of the field?
50% of top on Saturday.
No, we're
Sunday.
doing the whole field.
Oh, the whole
We're
entire
not doing
field.
tops.
Yeah.
We're not at tops yet. The most
30%.
popular affiliation in the Invitational.
Most popular event, Avengers.
Not event, sorry. Most popular affiliation in Avengers. God damn it. Most popular affiliation in the Invitational. Go.
Played in the invitation.
Steve Avengers.
You don't have to say Steve, just Avengers.
Avengers.
God. How many Xanax did you fucking take while you were off camera?
Dude. A lot.
Parker.
I actually think it will be X-Men. I think it'll be X-Men.
All right. Next up, we're going to do surprise dark horse, like what is above expected. It doesn't have to be the most popular, but what is basically above the standard, like which unpopular affiliation is going to have the biggest showing.
Do you mean a popularity or like distance in the tournament?
Most total popularity. So, like for example, what if X-Force had like a 5% showing, which would be very high for X-Force because normally there's 0.
Right. I will go. I have my answer, but I went first last time, so I want someone else to go first.
I'll go first this time. Is it weird to say Guardians?
Yes, because they're not under the curve.
They're not a dark horse affiliation.
Okay, they're not. That was my question.
Hold on. But if they were like, for example, by far the most popular, that would be a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, let's say we compare it to the most recent TTS League and whatever had like the biggest jump in LVO compared to the TTS League. That would be a good like litmus test of if it's more popular than expected.
Okay, man. Okay, I'm trying to think of one. Can I? That's what I meant. Like, could I say Guardians? But since they're not a dark horse,
you could say Guardians, but they'd have to have a huge showing for you to win.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with one because I think it might show up. But wait, we have no data about it, so I don't know how to prove this. Weapon X. I have a feeling people might just play it. I don't know that
they're dark horse. They're like flavor of the month.
That's what I mean. This is a hard question for me, obviously.
I'd grant it to them. I'd let him do Weapon X.
If you want to do it, and then they have a noticeably above like market share showing. I'm fine with that.
That's what I mean. I think some people will do it just because it's like you said, new hotness. Look what I can do. Yeah. I've played a bunch of Weapon X before you guys did.
I personally like to show off how rich I am to my opponents as well.
Right.
I can't even do that.
All right, Jeremy, you're up.
I'm gonna claim Midnight Suns. Bank
That's
that.
A good answer.
Aaron.
Spider Fizz.
Rhino. Yeah, I like it. I like what you did there.
I'm going Criminals.
Ooh.
Also Rhino. Ooh. Yeah.
I didn't realize they were underrepresented, but okay, sure.
I think Criminals have been criminally underrepresented.
I think they have.
6 months.
I think people should be horrified.
Yeah, they should be terrifying. Like, the whole reason they left the meta was, like, they would have shithoused Malekith if he was played and didn't have the no rerolls rule. And then they removed the no rerolls rule and nobody said a word. I was like, guys?
Hush
guys?
now.
Like, nobody?
They're fine.
It's just like, someone's going to turn a corner and there's going to be 9,000 people with pistols. It's like, get some bitch. And they're just going to blow them away. Criminals terrify me. I think they're by far the best affiliation, and nobody plays them. But again, it's like it's tournament matchup stuff. It's not local game store things. Mm-hmm. Like local game store things, you end up like building counters into your list against people. But when you go to a large tournament and you sit down, you're like, 8 wide Criminals, what do you got? And you're like, nothing. There's nothing I have. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. I'm fucking playing Brotherhood. You got 8 wide Criminals. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing you can do. You lose at fucking, like, pairings. like it's just over.
It's not that bad, but yes, you have a point.
So, legitimately, if you had a person that was, like, let's say a 4 out of 10 at player skill, and or at least that's how you honestly felt about your own play after all your practice and reps and everything, you should play Criminals. Because you might go fucking 5-1.
Oh, no, you'd go 5-0. I mean, we just did this experiment.
We'll just assume we split.
We did this experiment. We already did it.
No, but like because the game is decided at fucking like your opponent selection so often with Criminals, because you just build the biggest meta bender like all in one side, and it's like there's no counterplay. At the point you know what you're supposed to do, it's too late to change your fucking list. And so there's nothing you can do about it. They're either going to fucking score all the points or they're going to kill you. One of the two.
I don't think they kill you at this wide version that you're talking about. And
right, no, that's the alternate is obviously Shadowlands Daredevil. It's a completely different list.
Sure,
like you can't do both. But I'm just building 8 wide fucking criminals. What are you gonna do?
Okay.
Like, you might lose every fucking game if you just pull good opponents that have like fucking scoundrels in their pair. You just win the game.
Sure.
So-
Sure.
I think Kingpin criminals are advantaged in the current meta. Shadowland is disadvantaged because of the prevalence or perceived prevalence of X-Men. So Shield and Shadowland both can't deal with the cover. Like a bunch of rapid fire 4 dice does shit all to cover unless you get spikes, right? So because of the prevalence of X-Men and how good they are in pay to flips, people aren't bringing pay to flips. And Kingpin's like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring all of my secures?
Of the two, I think Kingpin is currently stronger.
Correct. So I'm talking about like right now. So I think Kingpin criminals are set to feast on the current We Fear the X-Men meta.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with that.
All right. So next up is top 8 affiliations, which we're going to do. So Parker, you were really excited about this segment, so why don't you go first? We're going to get your it doesn't have to be in order unless you want style points.
Nah, I don't think so.
How many of each affiliation is going to make the top 8?
Okay. I think for my list, I have 4 Avengers,
Ooh.
1 Guardians, 1 Cabal, 4 Avengers, 1 Guardians, 1 Cabal. I'm just making sure I got my last 2 right.
That's 6. You got 2 more.
And 2 X-Men. That's what I think will make it.
All right. I got you down. How many episodes?
Don't be scared.
I want to call my financial advisor.
We're going to Vegas, so like you might as well just get it out of your system.
You know what?
Like you don't want to gamble real money.
Like 120.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say
least.
100 is what I want to say because
Yeah.
getting all of these like accurately, precisely, is gonna be tough. So,
All right, and was that in order? So top 4 will be all Avengers, and then we got Guardians of the Galaxy in 5th, Cabal in 6th, and then X-Men in 7th, 8th. I'm just kidding. Obviously,
I don't know if I can do
Oh,
that.
that sounds pretty accurate, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but I did do it in the order, rank order in my mind, but I don't know if.
Oh,
it'll
so you
actually
think
be that.
actually top 4 is gonna be all Avengers?
I want it to happen so that
Good
I can
Lord.
point and go, look, I was right, you chicken shits. Like anybody who thought the Avengers were fair they're wrong.
All right, so if
But-
top 4 are Avengers, I'll give you 4-1 odds. How many episodes would you want to bet?
Another 100.
Another 100. He's going 200 deep.
Nice. I like that. I like what you're doing there.
Mhm.
It's very strong. It's brave.
All right. Jeremy, what are you feeling?
3 Avengers, 3 X-Men. The other 2 will be random. We'll say Cabal, and we'll throw a Dark Horse in there. Let's go Midnight Suns.
Okay. So yours is only different from Parker's by 1, really.
Is it?
Or by 2. So you did you traded an Avenger for an X-Men and then made the Guardians a Midnight Sun. That's the only change you made.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty solid. I think X-Men are going to be a freaky showing. I think a lot of people talk about them. I think they're a big deal.
Aaron.
1 Criminal, 2 Avenger, 1 Cabal, 2 X-Men, 1 Guardian.
Hold on, wait, slow down. 1 criminal.
It's like he
2
saw the
Avengers.
future. He's like telling you like he saw the
I
future.
can't hear you.
Yeah.
Jeremy's talking over you. What'd you say?
1 Criminal,
Yeah.
2 Avengers, 1 Cabal, 2 X-Men, 1 Guardians, 1 Spider Foes.
All right. Nice. It's a good spread.
I don't think it's nice.
hmm.
That sounds like a game that's balanced and shit. I don't like that.
That ain't Spider Foes ain't making it. I'll give you 150 of Parker's episodes that say that Spider Foes
That's
are not making it.
the way my investment system
Parker,
works.
quit being a pussy about this. Get in there.
Oh boy. Mm.
Wait, what was the bet you wanted to make? Were you actually trying to make me?
150 Parker
That there's
episodes.
no Spider Foes in the top 8.
Yes, make that bet now. I will.
Yes! Fuck yeah.
Make that bet right now.
Hell yeah.
Call it Jeremy's bet.
No spider foes in the top 8 for 150.
There you go. Done. You can cash that shit in right now. I'll be honest.
So let's see. How many people are in this tournament?
So you can really only do a top 7 because there'll be 7 5-1s or greater.
No, you can easily do a top 8.
Well,
Just- 'cause
tiebreakers at 4 and 2.
We're just looking at the final standings. We're not looking at on a specific round count.
I understand. I'm saying at the final standings there will be 1 6-0, 6 5-1s, and 15 4 and 2s.
Yeah, so it'll be strength schedule.
So yeah,
So no Spider Foes top 8, but how many participants are we expecting?
64.
64. Okay, so that would be a 1 in 8 chance per capita.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm fine with even odds on that. Okay, this is gonna be a spicy weekend.
Yeah,
John's gonna have some comments. Luckily, we'll be 20 hours away from John drive time
Nice.
by the time his little ears hear this. All right,
I know that my financial advisor will have something to say about this, but he'll have his time to talk to me about it.
you haven't secured his services yet. This is like a Better Call Saul situation. He's like, put $1 in my pocket. All right, now shut the fuck up. I gotta fix this situation. All right.
What's your bet? What's your bet, Brandon?
I'm thinking about number 8 right now. So I got Avengers times 3, which I'm honestly leaning more towards 4. X-Men times 2, Guardians times 1, Brotherhood times 1.
Oh, I didn't have a Brotherhood.
You did not. You're really bad at this.
I am bad at that.
Jesus Christ. Terrible at this.
I'm going to stick to my principles and do Criminals. All right, so 3 Avengers, 2 X-Men, Guardians, Brotherhood, and Criminals. But I'm going to put a little spiciness here. I think 2 of these lists in the top 8 are going to have Thanos.
Actually, I have a curiosity. If it's a
The Guardians and 1 of the X-Men are solely because they're running Thanos.
Yeah. I have a curiosity. What if it's X-Men and Brotherhood somehow? Like they mix it together.
It's what they play the most.
No.
Or they click the... Okay, so on the popularity stuff, it's like the most in the tournament or whatever. You select... In Longshanks, you select which affiliations you're playing in the app. So that's what we're going to count.
Yes.
In the top 8, if we have to cut it down the middle, because some people, it's like sketchy, we'll go with whatever the majority of affiliated are. If we have to cut it up. If some guy's like, well, I had, Mags in my list, but he's the only Brotherhood affiliated model, and he puts Brotherhood on the list. Like, well, it's not really a Brotherhood.
Yeah, of course.
We'll look at it.
Okay.
We'll look at it if it's sketchy, but it should be pretty obvious.
Okay.
I think you're gonna like
go.
You're gonna like what we do here, Parker. It's gonna be fair. Okay. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna be fair, and you're gonna need to tell your family tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Brandon. How do you think the 3 of us, or 5 of us technically, are gonna do in the Invitational?
How about this? I would say we would have an average record of 4 and 2, except that Jeremy's going to drop after 0 and 1. So that's going to fuck up the average.
Oh, man.
But I'm confident in our play. I'd say 4 and 2 is the average.
Wow.
So if we break it down, let's say we got, because it's you, Perrin, me, Parker, Jeremy are not qualified right now.
Yeah,
right?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's
one of them can get. Wait. If only one of them can get qualified, right?
I think 10 to 12 is what I heard.
No, yeah, it's gonna be
really.
A bunch of,
They're letting in like 12 people. Oh,
because they had to cross off all the people who had tickets or invites, but then couldn't come.
Oh,
but that sounds weird because they should have just gone down the list. So I might have misheard that.
If I get
so
paired against Parker,
it's more than
kill
one.
him.
It's definitely more than one.
So let's say it's
Parker.
you only have to win 1 round or 2 rounds of the last chance to get
No,
in.
you have to be X and 1, and there are some X and 1s who won't get in. But they have no idea how many people are going to show up for LCQ.
Right, exactly. Well, they have the maximum number of tickets. They know how many tickets they sold.
240.
Right, but 60-something of them.
Correct. Say a maximum of 180 people in the LCQ. Holy shit. That's a long-ass tournament.
Realistically, it's probably closer to 50 or 60.
I concur with
maximum
you. Yes.
size. Yeah. What does it run concurrent with? How about that? What's the schedule look like?
It runs concurrent with the XV event, along with scrambles and open play.
What the fuck is an XV event?
You bring 15 characters, 15 tactics cards, and then after crisis selection, you ban 2 of your opponent's characters who cannot be leaders.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why I have 36 characters in my box.
Can't ban mags.
Nope. I guarantee, like, Perrin is going to have Gwen and Voodoo banned. No, Hulk and Voodoo. His Hulk and Voodoo get banned, and my Rhino...
Well, that's a fun one, though, because you bring people hoping they get banned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to bring MODOK and Hulk, but they're not in my list, right? Like,
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't want to deal with that.
For me, it's going to be Jugs and Rhino. They're going to get banned every time.
What if it... I think it should probably be, like, both can't have a leadership, because you should be able to ban people like Thanos, like, whatever.
I'm just saying.
So I think probably, let's say a third of people aren't interested in competitive play.
Yep.
And so they're there for, like, narrative stuff, which is pretty standard from what I've seen. 30% are in the Invitational, and 30% are going to not go play in the XV. Yeah, nobody's going to be in the last chance. Yeah, there'll be 0 people, so it'll be perfect. No, man, I don't know. I think it's going to be like 40 people. I don't think it's going to be that many.
Okay.
I should go X1.
It's also like,
I'm gonna throw that
like,
bet out there. I think that I go X1. I don't know that I make it in, depending on like, scheduling. But
I said you were going to go X1 as well.
That's my standard issue.
0-1 and drop.
And then drop, yes.
That's X and 1.
That's true.
All right.
I think I have a healthier respect. I either don't think we're as good as we are, or I have a healthier respect for everyone else.
No, I think there's good people. But there's good people at a lot of tournaments. I think we can hold our own pretty well.
It'll be fine.
We'll get into a lot. I think 55-45 games.
Yeah.
But you win a decent amount of those. So I'm not saying we're gonna noob stomp or anything. Like, I definitely don't think that's the case.
Not at all.
I think we'll probably each have one fairly easy game. We'll each have one very hard game. And then we'll probably have 4 games of 50, somewhere between 60-40 either way. And then, someone's winning that. And I think it'll be us about a third to 2/3 of the times. And so we'll just see how it goes.
Okay.
I see mine being based on scenario. I think it's mission. I think mission will get me. I think the game I lose, or 2 games I lose, will be because I can't manage it. I haven't played a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm being... Go ahead.
If somebody's going 3-3, I think it's me, because I have very little practice and a very restricted model pool.
Bullshit. Bullshit. You're gonna walk through that day 1 5-0, and you're gonna go, I don't know how it happened. I'm drunk. And
I'm drunk.
And I'm going to be very drunk.
And you're going to let everybody know how much you don't give a shit about being it, and I'm going to be mad. But that's fine.
Yeah, but I gotta start that now.
I know.
Okay, but legitimately, so this always happens to me. The only times I just have easy roads, and not easy roads like I have bad opponents. My opponents are always top notch every time. I love my opponents. They're always either fucking great at the game or really good people. I have great opponents, except for like Patrick. But moving on with that. I always have the hardest road unless I can't play in the finals. And what time of day do you think the finals on Sunday is going to be? What time of day do you think that would be?
During the Chiefs game.
Game.
I'm not. If I go 5-0, I'm not playing in the finals unless they move it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the bar now and watch a Chiefs game. And if you guys have a problem with that, I'll fucking knife you and I'll see you in the parking lot. Like, you guys going to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you're going to forfeit. I'm like, cool. Who's my opponent?
Sure. Whatever.
Congrats. Let's go. I'm going to be in the bar watching the fucking Chiefs game.
That's a W. There you go, bro.
Yeah. Maybe next time, don't put your fucking stupid-ass Vegas event on goddamn championship weekend. You fucking idiots. Do it the next goddamn weekend when nothing's happening.
Do you know how many listeners will gain if they find out that our podcast had the guy who was going to win the whole thing that decided to drop out 0-5 and watch the Chiefs game instead? Dude, I hope that happens.
That would be, I mean, admittedly,
the
the most baller move.
Yeah.
But I would be sick to my stomach on the flight home. But during the Chiefs game, I'm like, yeah, there's no question.
Yeah, no. Get a little
no, legitimately, what I would do is if I knew I couldn't make it, I would feel horrible beating somebody and then scooping to the other guy in the finals. Like, I would feel so bad for that guy that, like, dude, because this game is a lot of luck, like, right? Like, that's the only thing I really don't like about it, is that it's heavy RNG.
Yep.
And there's some games you should win and you don't, and it's just the way it works. But it also adds kind of a casual, relaxed atmosphere, because there's not that super cutthroat 1% difference game changers. It's more of like, okay, well, I think I made the right choice here. It didn't work out. You know, maybe next time. And then you just move on. And so I like that attitude that everybody has about it, which is great. But, man, yeah, I would feel sick, like, beating somebody on, like, a final turn. And be like, all right, cool, I'm Scoop. Like 5-0 drop. Like, fuck you, get out of the finals. Like, I would feel so bad for that guy. I think I would just have to, like, concede mid-game. Like, if it looked like I was going to win. Like, nah, dude, you know what? You got it, dude. Like, I got to go
guess
anyway.
what time it is? It's time for you to win. I'm out.
Yeah. Because, I mean, my plan in fucking St. Louis was that. I was like, I'm going to play one of you guys, I'm going to scoop, and, like, I'm going to go drink more beer, and then, like, hang out, because I've already qualified anyway.
That's the thing that worries me a little bit, is the desperation that sometimes these last chance qualifiers bring out. But
I'll tell you what,
again,
though, do not let your clock go under 10 minutes unless it's the final turn. Like, if you're, like, at, like, 11 minutes on turn 4... like, you're just moving and hitting the clock. You don't make attacks.
nah,
Like, do
I'm
not
not.
let yourself get in the position where you're, like, slamming clock back and forth. Like, just don't.
I'm never that guy. That's not a thing that I do.
Until you're that guy.
Until I'm that guy, but nah.
Yeah.
Nope. And that's the thing.
Parker.
I brought the
Parker,
listeners
I
to
heard
that.
your advice. That was
Move the model, hit the clock.
Yeah, I get it.
Don't make attack rolls. Fucking using I've got your back with 30 seconds on your clock is not the way,
there
Parker.
there is a reason.
Listen to the Mandalorian.
There's a reason why I am not bringing Ghost Rider and Winter Soldier, and anybody can interrupt their turn to do anything. I'm not going to roll a fucking dice. I'm not going to ask them what they did. I'm just going to do what I could do, and not make them do anything. Just like that. I don't want to.
Which is like the Parker turn is okay. I'm going to rapid fire. All right, take 9, and then your opponent looks over and goes, "What?" And then you go, "Oh, I'm sorry. Take 10."
10.
I didn't count this extra crit over here.
Yeah.
You're like, wasn't that a 5 dice or a 4 dice attack? And you're like, yep. And then
People don't
move on.
understand. There was a game where injured Bullseye killed healthy Thanos and Storm that Parker had.
Yeah,
this
sure.
was a game
Yeah.
that happened.
That's fine. Yep, that sounds
We will
right.
never forget Parker
That sounds
dice.
right.
It is.
Yep.
It is. There are 3 laws of the universe. One is unknowable. Your mind will cave in. The second one is gravity is a bitch. Third one is Parker dice. There's 3 rules of the universe right there.
I remember the Bullseye one, but the one I remember is who was in your basement. Actually, I think I was playing Jeremy in your basement, and Jeremy just decided that he will no longer play me if I play Rocket Raccoon, because I had a Rocket Raccoon turn where I think I dazed 4 models. Like, it was. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
I think I dazed 4 characters.
You played Deadly Duo, and every attack you made down somebody.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
it was.
You're
it
one of
was,
the few
I mean,
people.
you shouldn't, because it happened.
Yeah,
I believe you were also playing Guardians in this one.
No, he was
and
playing
you played
Criminals.
Lovable-
He was playing
you
Criminals.
Okay, it was then in his next game. You played Lovable Misfits, and all that happened is you damaged your own models. And he was like, I'm so happy I fucking came over here. Fucking goddamn, like, he's about to lose his shit.
Yeah.
All I know is Parker's one of the only few people who, like, I usually approach, like, tabletop games like golf. Like, you know what? I can always get a hole-in-one and get back in this. I'll play Parker, and I'll quit halfway through. I'm like, I'm fucking taking my bottles, I'm going home, and I'm going to beat my wife, right? Like, that's how you have to do it. You go home, you
We're
have
going to have
drinks,
some punchy
you
time when I
beat
get home.
somebody, and then you come back the next day, and you're like, you know what? I feel all right. I'm okay. That's fine. You know. God damn.
He's taking his fucking 30 Xanax pills just to come up to the game store and play Parker once a month.
Do you know how excited I get that we get to introduce Parker to the public? You have no idea what joy that brings me. I'm like, just play this guy. Go ahead, he's fine. Go ahead.
It's gonna be
See
great.
what
You're
that's
gonna have a
like.
great time. He's gonna be all polite, shake your hand, and he's gonna just like fucking diarrhea dice all over the
No,
fucking table.
the only way to fix it is to melt his dice into some sort of like onk and then bury it under a fucking pyramid. Like,
I'm pretty sure that's how you create the One Ring. Are you trying to create the One Ring?
It's like Jumanji. It's just thumping under the ground.
Yeah, it's awful.
Parker, my favorite is that you finally learned what it was like to play against your dice sometimes when you played Perrin in the finals.
Yeah.
And you were just like, Thanos is invulnerable. I'm like, yeah, sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, sucks
Like,
to suck. Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
All right.
To be fair, I brought not one rapid fire model with me this time.
You
However-
learned your lesson.
However,
Parker, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You
However-
can't rub it right around.
however, every time my special delivery She-Hulk, I will always do precisely 11 damage. That's what I do against Jeremy every time I've ever special delivery. She
That
only
makes
one
sense.
she only
That's
one
fine.
shots DR models with 6 or 7 health when she
Yeah,
does
that's
special
alright.
delivery.
That's
That's-
fine.
That's
That
how
makes sense.
All right. So we have most popular faction, winning faction, surprise popularity faction, and top 8s predictions. Is there any other predictions we'd like to make? Can we do our personal records?
Sure.
Either in
Ooh,
the
okay.
LCQ or in the Invitational.
Oh Jesus.
Let's do that.
I'm not in the invitational, but I will give the X1 as per
No,
usual.
That's going to be the LCQ.
Yeah, so that's my LCQ prediction.
We're going to assume that it's 6 rounds.
Okay, whatever. X1.
So you're going to go 5 and 1.
Yep.
Aaron.
I'm debating between 3 and 3 and 4 and 2.
God
Oh,
damn it.
come
You are
on.
such a fucking sandbagger. I'm so sick of your shit. You
I
need to
think
get
I'm
in this
going to
game.
go 1 and 5.
I'll
Who
be,
did better than
you
their
know what?
predictions?
These
Oh,
guys
look,
are
I got
really,
the-
really good, and I don't know, man. Maybe I hope I just win one.
Guys,
maybe.
No,
if
no.
I could just, if I could just walk away with like just not clocking out, I think this would win.
Fucking horse shit, you motherfucker.
I will leave you in Vegas.
What?
I will strand you in Vegas.
6 and fucking 0, jackass.
Fine, that's much more proud. We like that.
10 toes down is what they call it.
Tentos.
All right, well, we're gonna skip Aaron for now. Parker.
Lose first round, then win out. That's what I want. So still,
All right, so you're gonna go 5 and 1,
5 and
but
1.
you're gonna be in the losers.
I'm gonna
bracket?
be submarine that shit. That's how I always.
If you
get
play
in.
me, I'm gonna punch you right in the face. I'm gonna punch you square
I
in the
think
face.
what's gonna happen is you're gonna be 5 and 0. I'm gonna be 4 and 1, and then we're gonna play. I'm gonna dice the shit out of you, and you'll
Dude.
be 5 and 1. And
Dude, I'm gonna haul your ass out. You're much smaller than me. I'm gonna throw you outside. I'm gonna
I'm
kill
just
you.
saying, this is the thing
That's
that
it.
happens to us. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
I'm gonna have to kill you. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm
why.
going to predict 3 and 3 because I'm assuming I'm effectively losing the final round because I know I can't play because the game will be happening.
So 3
So
and
I
2.
think I'll probably go 3 and 2, and probably would have gone 4 and 2, except that I will have scooped. So I'm gonna when I drop, I assume that I lose the rest of the rounds. Is basically what
Yeah.
I'm doing it. So I think I'm gonna effectively go 3 and 2. And if I had full model selection, I think I would predict a 4 and 2, even with dropping the last round.
Oh, just a little aside. Right now, could you tell me what would you played if you had every model painted and ready to go? What
I would
faction?
play Convocation, but
Convocation.
like that's just because that's what I had been playing, not because I thought it was the best. It's just like what I had been doing for so long. I haven't gotten tired of them yet, but part of that's been because I've been fucking busy as shit. Like, I haven't even had time to play my normal amount of games.
I thought you'd try Hydra. I thought you'd say Hydra just because you'd love.
I
You'd
really
love to
wanna
go
play
stick. You'd love
Hydra.
to go stick it in there.
The problem with Hydra is they're so slow, and I haven't tried them with the new affiliation packet yet. Or not, sorry, the scenario packet yet. If I was playing them right now, I would drop Gambit, obviously, for Blob, and probably make 1 or 2 other changes. But for right now, it's just what it is. Like, I 100% Gambit should be Blob. I just don't have it painted Blob, and I don't like borrowing models. I just don't enjoy it. Games I play
get
with
you.
borrowed models, I just don't like it.
Yep, I understand.
I'd rather just have fun with my models, like live and die by the sword, you know? Although, I tell you what, though, like, it fucking motivates the shit out of me to get painting as soon as possible, and so I'm excited to get moved and get painting again.
Mhm.
What's Perrin's record going to be?
He's not here.
No, he's not here. We
People-
can still talk shit about him.
He'll lose 2.
Oh, he'll lose 2?
I think he'll lose 2.
I think he'll win.
2-0 2 drop!
I think he'll
No.
win 2. I think he'll get 2 and 4.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no, 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 no. I think he'll at least go even.
I don't know. There's some real scrubs out there that won like 10-person qualifiers. For people at home, I'm pointing at myself.
What is he playing?
He's playing my Spidey Steve list.
Nope, that's not the right answer. Sorry. Okay,
Not for 2 and
readdress.
4.
I readdress. No. That's
Wait,
not
wait.
going to work.
Factual statement or not, he's playing Gwen and Steve.
True.
4 and 2 minimum.
You know what? In parents'
just
hands,
say he's being a tryhard. Just say that.
Yeah.
in parents' hands, I think that his X-Men Thanos thing is fucking crazy.
I'm surprised he's
Because
not playing it, honestly.
He honestly doesn't give a fuck. Like, the things he does to people, and like as awful and egregious as that is, it's seriously so good.
If he just took the time to read his cards, he could win a lot of games with that list. I love pointing out to him that he's using his own rules wrong. It's like, you realize you can't do that, right? He's like, what?
I think Perrin is going to lose. This is my prediction for Perrin: is that he will lose one game because there'll be one line of text on either a tactics card or a character card, and he will not see it, and his opponent will go, "Look, this line of text," and he goes, "Oh, I just lost," and they go, "Oh yeah, like that." That is going to be something that happens to Perrin in a really crucial moment. Is he will not know some piece of text, because I think actually, maybe you could tell me, Aaron. I feel like sometimes he just doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't like care to know everything, and so he's like, "Oh, you're right. That does do that. Well, okay," and that's it. Like, and then he lost the game because of that. I have this feeling.
Yeah.
No,
He
he's
is
Frankenstein's monster wandering about destroying souls and like not giving a fuck about how people feel
Aaron,
about it.
honestly, the thing that holds Perrin back more than anything is the strong moral compass you gave him. Because legitimately, he could go into this tournament and just introduce him like, "Hi, my name's Perrin. Like, the store tournament I won, I played my dad in round 2, and then like I got into the finals and I beat Dormammu." Like, and he could just sell it, right? Like he's just this little like bumpkin kid that just happenstanced his way into the Invitational, and like he'd win 3 games for free because people would try and be nice, and it always happens. Like, "Oh man, look at this kid.
I
He
agree.
plays war games. I wish my dad was into war games. His dad clearly let him win. They got into the finals.
Man.
He won a game. Like he would destroy people, like giving them this like false sense of security. I'm telling you, like,
I'll work on it.
like, yeah. If you would just sell out and just like make the kid have no soul, he could win even more games.
He would be up like 6-2 on turn 1, and
He'd be like a game-winning robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first turn would be going like, I move on an objective, I move. Okay,
I don't know,
double
like-
move Gwen, pull, shoot, push. And then
Yeah.
opponent would be like, what the fuck?
Did I do good?
He has played a grand total of 1 practice game.
I was going to say that list is pretty new to him. That's why I don't give him huge props on it.
He hasn't
I
played
know that-
Thanos in months, so it doesn't
The
matter
thing
what
is,
he plays.
Thanos, like,
Luckily,
Yeah.
it's like the press a button win a game machine. So
where do I want that model?
Yeah.
Oh, over there? Cool. I got a model to do that. Where do I
I
want
don't
that
know,
model?
would
Cool.
I like
Put
your
that over
models
there.
to score or your models to not score? I don't know.
My favorite was this is a 10 dice attack from X23. I'm like, all right, I'm going to kill myself. I hate myself so much. I just want to quit this game and throw it in the trash.
I have
Like,
been drinking these vodka Red Bulls, but I think I'm going to switch to like, I don't know, cyanide and bleach. Like, I just don't want to do this anymore.
I
God,
think
it's so
absolutely.
horrible.
This is the way Perrin's going to win a game, though. I'll make a prediction about how Perrin will win a game. Is he'll be sitting there on turn 5, and he'll have everything he needs to win, and his opponent will be sitting there defeated because he knows Perrin's playing Steve Avengers. Gwen can just move twice and push, or move twice and pull, or whatever it is that you could do, and he's going to sit there just staring at the board. Fucking bring it down to like 3 minutes of time left on his clock. He knows he's close to winning, but he can't figure it out. And his opponent's going to go, "God damn it, just do this." And he goes, "Oh, thank you." And that'll be the way he wins. Like, that'll be his opponent will play his army for him for a win at least once, I think. I have a feeling.
What?
No, Perrin is
feeling-
never going to get anywhere close to clock.
Yeah.
That
No, he
dude
doesn't care
makes
that
a
much.
decision and just executes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, but my point is that he's going to
opponent's
really
gonna give
scratch
him
his
one?
head on something. His opponent's going
Okay.
to say, "And then you do this, and then you do this," and Perrin's going to go,
Hold
"Oh,
on.
you're right, I could have," and then he's just going to do it and win. I have a feeling.
Nah, I don't think that'll happen. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Here's my wild prediction. Perrin won't have the worst record of the 5 of us.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the confidence I have in Perrin.
Wow. I'm his dad,
not
and
gonna
I would
say-
take that bet.
I'm not going to say who I
Damn.
think's coming in last because that person needs all the confidence they can get.
Ouch.
Yikes.
It's Aaron.
You said 6-0,
All right, Aaron.
motherfucker.
We're circling back to you. What's your prediction?
I mean, you're goading me into 4-2, but I really don't know.
If you're confident with 3-3, just say it. But you're going to be wrong
You think-
unless you
Nah.
scoop one of your games.
There
Really?
isn't
I'm fine
three.
with that.
There isn't 3 people in that tournament.
You're going
that
for
can beat you.
closest. We're going for a person who finishes closest to their prediction, not above their prediction. So sandbagging your number isn't helping you. It's actually hurting
No.
you. Just so you know. But you
You're
can guess
minus-
whatever you want.
Every
I'll put down
sandbag,
2 and 4 if you want.
every sandbag you take adds 100 episodes to
Oh,
Parker.
hold on a second. I actually forgot that he's going to play DeLuca round 1 and lose. That's his MO. So if
Ooh, that's
you're going to be
true.
in the losers bracket, you'll probably go 5-1.
Oh, smash!
but you're going to lose round 1 to DeLuca.
Okay, I can buy that. Fine, 4-2. Ship it.
Shipped. Oh, I typed it wrong. Hold on. Now it's shipped. All right, so we have Jeremy at 5-1, or also known as OX drop.
Dude, I'll drop
Aaron's gonna go
anytime, I don't
4-2.
fucking care.
Well, I've
I'll
seen you drop
Dude, I don't
at
fucking
3-0 at a qualifying event. He's like,
You
fuck,
did.
I'm going home.
Fuck that shit. That's real.
I know I'm playing the best list here and everything, but like I'm just gonna drop. Aaron's at 4-2. I'm predicting 3 and X for myself because I know I'm not playing round 6. Parker's at 5-1 with an asterisk of submarining, losing in the first round and
Yeah.
being in the losers bracket.
That's not a
He's
bad
going
idea.
the badminton strategy.
Yeah.
And then Aaron, do you want to put in a prediction for your son as well?
2-4.
2 and 4. Dude, I'll fucking take that bet whole goddamn day.
Oh man, that's like fucking points. You're getting points on
Yeah.
that.
Just so you all know, the tiebreakers is victory points allowed.
What?
So
In the invitational?
yes, probably LCQ as well.
So if I win 20-0, that's good.
yes.
That's
the way
not
he
gonna
explained
work
it-
for me, I'm gonna have to win all my games just straight up.
Well.
That's not gonna help me.
Sure. It's a way to discourage milking your victory points, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's
That
not
makes sense.
it's not the difference. It's not your points.
It's
allowed.
better than total points scored, and it's
Yeah.
better than differential.
It's
I'll
the
give
third
him that.
tiebreak, right? Strength of schedule, blah blah blah. But when
All
it gets
right,
down
so
to
it's in a 6-round event, it's fucking irrelevant. I
well, he
gotcha.
said that determined the LCQ who made it last year.
Well, yeah, because the tiebreaker will determine it, but it's going to be pretty insubstantial.
We said the victory point tiebreaker is what.
especially in like the new mission packet, though, it's going to be a bunch of close games.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new
So I
mission's
ag-
going to make that harder to do, but
I just hate weakness of schedule scoring. I just really hate it. Like blowing out people that don't know what they're doing shouldn't give you a benefit. Because the only way that you're going down that much is if the person had a strategy that didn't work, and they got super unlucky, or they just don't know what they're doing. That's the only way that you get a massive differential like that, which is just unfair. Because people playing harder opponents are not going to get in that situation. It's just dumb. It's just a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
after strength of schedule and opponent strength of schedule, what do you base tiebreaks on?
Age,
Age,
The opponent's strength of
height,
schedule.
arm wrestling, something like that.
hair length.
Slap fight.
It's literally opponent's strength of schedule. That's all it is. And once you do that, there's no reason to have a fifth tiebreaker.
Pokemon battle.
I like slap fight, honestly. I think that's the trashiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
We're in Vegas. Just Rochambeau for it.
That's true.
Scorpion Venom Ingestment Contest.
Scorpion. So specific.
Backroom hammer fights. I can come up with shit all day.
What's that stabby finger game where you have to go in between your fingers? with
Yeah.
your knife? Like
All right,
that?
that's fine too. Sure,
Yeah.
whatever. That's
I don't
good.
know
I
the
don't
name of
think
that.
that's a game.
What's the name of that? It's a fun
If there is,
game.
that is a game, there's only losers.
It's the best Thanksgiving game there is. What is the name of that thing? I don't know.
Alien.
No, it's not a
Yeah,
game.
it's on Aliens.
It's
That's
just
all I know.
fucking
It's on
crazy
Aliens.
people do that.
The crossover finger stab.
What's the game when you wake up in the middle of the night screaming in a mirror? I don't know. That's not a
called
fucking
night-
game.
That's called Night Terrors. I know what that is.
It's not night terrors. It's psychosis. Like,
Oh my god.
all right. There's only one thing I'm 100% sure of and that's that this episode was a banger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I
yeah,
think we're done for tonight.
we did real good. You did real good.
All right, let's go ahead and call it. This has been Brandon.
And Parker.
And Jeremy.
And 6-0 Aaron.
Fuck yeah.
And you've just listened to Vegas, We Are In You.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.
All right, the story that you have all been waiting for.
Oh man.
I have story time from the Chiefs game.
Hells yeah.
Do tell.
Jeremy's not
tell.
going to like this story.
Oh
Wait,
no.
Jeremy wasn't there?
I probably
No,
was. It's
Jeremy was
probably-
definitely there,
Oh,
but
okay.
he's not going to look too favorable in this story.
Okay, that's what you meant. Got it.
All right,
Mm.
so I am only going to give this like a lead up because I know a lot of our listeners are not local to the Midwest or even the U.S. So there is a game that is played at tailgates known as cornhole or sacco or some variation of that, or it's commonly referred to as bags. Basically, you play a game with two large wooden boards with a hole cut in them. They're put about 20 or 30 feet apart, and you throw bean bags from one side to the other, trying to get them on the board or in the hole. You play against another person or another team of people, usually in pairs.
It's nearly impossible.
So it's a fairly difficult game, and because me and Jeremy go to games a lot, because we have season tickets, we play more than most people in our friend group. So in my opinion, me and Jeremy are the competitive people at cornhole because we try. I think is the key. like the effort we put into it is way above the I'm going to drink a beer and throw a beanbag that a lot of people do.
Sure.
We're cutthroat when we're playing cornhole. Me and Jeremy usually end up on opposite teams to balance it out.
There's a tiny bit of my
That's-
soul invested in each bag throw.
right.
Yeah, I hate losing that game too. But
Yeah.
but I don't
So-
I don't put the practice in the sweat like you guys do it. You guys.
Well, I don't practice it.
This is
we
not
only
part-
play when we're at the game.
This isn't
right?
part of
Like,
the story. This is going to be the bad
Right.
part. I know where you're going.
I know you know exactly. As soon as I said cornhole, he's like, "God damn." This last game was the Chiefs' divisional round. We played the Jaguars, and Jeremy brought his children's, his twin 10-year-old boys.
They're 10, yes.
10. All right. So this is where the story gets good. And so his kids go, "Can we play bags?" And then Jeremy goes, "Yeah, we can play bags." And so they run over and they just stand on one side. Jeremy's like, "Well, obviously we have to split them up and we have to each take one because that would not be fair to the kids to have two people that are very competitive like their first game of bags." And so I get Gabe
You're correct. Yes, you remember
and you get
correctly.
Eli.
Correct.
And so we set up, and the opening salvo results in, I believe it was 7-0
7-0.
over Eli.
Yep. 7-0.
At which point, the multiple attempts at breakdance throwing were used. Jeremy was not a fan of this. He was like, "You need to try, kids." And so Gabe's on my team. So my team goes up 7-0 on the first throw. It's not a good start. And then it just continues every round. Gabe is outscoring his brother by like 4 points. And it's a game to 21. So that's pretty brutal. So we jump up ahead 18-0 really fast. And Jeremy's starting to get a little flustered because the kids aren't taking it seriously, but we want to take it seriously. And so this goes on, the game obvious route. And so we just started another game because the kids want to keep playing. And so we start going. It's a closer match. They get some points early, but similar situation, gets out of hand pretty quickly. They want to keep playing. And so Jeremy's like, "How about this? Why don't you guys switch?" And so they switch sides. And so now they're staying on opposite sides of the board. And it's Eli's first turn on my team. He's yet to score a point in the match. And Eli drains 3 of them in a row. I can't stop laughing. I am losing my shit. I'm about to fall down into the snow.
That's the hardest I've seen you
And Jeremy's just like, just shaking, man.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? It's like, they hate me. Yeah, that's like all I can imagine is like the prodigal son has returned. It's just like every nightmare Jeremy's ever had about sports with his kids has come true. He's like, "Why do you hate me so much?" That was the most entertaining thing that happened all day.
The
The football game was nice, but like that was amazing.
They're specifically trained to destroy me. That's why they were put on the planet.
Yeah, they're there to replace you. They are your replacement.
Exactly. In so many ways.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was so great.
Oh my god.
Oh, so great.
They showed that
I
did.
just
That's a
I
true
couldn't
story.
even aim. Like I didn't do anything. Like the kids alone beat Jeremy. Like it was so good.
Dude, when Gabe trained
I was
7
missing
points,
the board completely. I was out of it. Like I couldn't stop crying. Like I was my vision was literally obscured because I was crying laughing the whole time.
and they were hitting them and like dance fighting. Like
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And my favorite part was they had no idea what was going on, right? Like they're just having a great time. And then Jeremy is furious and trying to hide it. I can't stop laughing. And they're just like, this is super fun. Like,
oh no, I haven't tried to win anything harder in my life. And there was just nothing I could do.
It's impossible. Like it was just impossible.
I've never tried to win anything harder in my life.
No.
Whichever one was on your team, like they'd snag one on the board early, and then the other one would drain one, right? So you're down 2 points. Then they would throw another one and knock their own bag off the board, giving yet our team another point. And there's just stuff like that constantly.
Oh yeah. No, and the thing is they have like a universal, like they were born with a versus thing against each other. So they're always trying to like measure each other. So when one would do good, it has nothing to do with us, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was all about them. And they were like, shaking their ass in each other's face. And over on the other side, I'm seething mad. Like,
yeah. But you did a good job of not letting them know. Like you're just like trying to hold it in. You're just like, I'm gonna die.
hey, I had my boys at a Chiefs game. It was the best time ever. So it didn't matter what happened.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Did they?
It was pretty funny though.
Did they actually chill at the game? Did they?
Yeah.
Did they
They
go?
were great.
That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
fun.
I have a video of them doing the Chiefs chopper thing and
Mhm.
like
The chopper thing.
the chopper thing and first down, and they were like yelling Mahomes, and it's one of those times where like in an adult life with kids, there's probably I don't know how many there are, maybe 1 or 2 a year. It was pretty epic. Like it was a memory that they'll never forget, nor I won't either. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did they also yell Henny? Were they able to yell Henny?
No, they were like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
That's what everybody.
Like, oh my
says.
god, Mahomes! Is
Everybody
hurt.
who
We're
doesn't
gonna
know
lose."
Henny says that.
Chad Henne is a national hero, and you need to put some respect on his name.
Oh no, that man! It was funny. I was watching the game here, and Sarah's like, "Oh no, Mahomes isn't playing." Oh, don't worry about it. And she's like, "What do you mean? Don't worry about it? Isn't he supposed to be really good?" I was like, "Oh, he's probably the best quarterback who's played in a long time, maybe ever, depending upon how long his career is. However, we're just fine." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm not even going to explain it. Just watch." And then Chad Henne in his own end zone throws a pass because quarterbacks.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a infomercial where a dude makes a boat out of screen doors?
Yeah,
That's Chad Henne. Like, don't worry about it. We got a boat. We got a boat. It's fine.
Boat out
Screen
of
doors, boat.
screen doors.
So the saying from last year is anything is possible because was it last year or the year before? I can't remember.
I
It
know
was the year before.
I know that.
But it was the Browns game.
Yeah.
So basically, Mahomes, they believe he gets concussed on the final drive of the game, so they take him out, and Chad Henne's running the offense. But they found out later he didn't get a concussion; he got choked out at the bottom of the pile, which still nothing ever happened with that. You'd think that would be bigger news, anyway. So Chad Henne, they run to the line on 4th and 1. Which is, insane to have a backup quarterback try a 4th and 1. And they have an empty backfield. There's no running back on the field. And they're just like, oh, and so the announcer goes, oh, this is clearly a fake. They're just trying to get the Browns to jump off sides to get a free first down, which would end the game because the Browns are out of timeouts and there's not enough time left. So they get up to the line and immediately snap the ball, and everyone in the fucking crowd loses their fucking minds. They're like, what are you doing? And the Chet Hay just throws a first down, and it's like game over, and then we just walk off the field, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody knew what happened. It was too fast.
He's called Playoff Henny I know in the locker room. Who started that? Somebody started calling him Playoff Henny because every time he always plays, he always shows up at the playoffs, always, and does some great thing.
He's
Can't remember who. Kelsey. It's
'cause
Kelsey.
Matt
Kelsey's
Moore.
the one
It
who
probably
calls him
was,
Playoff
yeah.
Henny. Yeah.
Matt Moore was the one that came in when he missed the games the year we won the Super Bowl when he dislocated his kneecap.
Mm-hmm.
That man is magical.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mhm.
I mean, I like to brag about his stats and everything because like he has like the best stats ever. But anyone who watches football, it's not the stats because it's the eye test. When you watch him play football, he's so much better than the numbers because you'll see like the left-handed pass against the Broncos when he's evades the pockets, being chased by 3 people on the run, diving, and does a left-handed shovel pass across his body for a first down. You're like, yeah, that was a 4-yard pass. And that's how it goes down on the books. But he has the best books ever, and he's doing this shit to get it.
Mhm.
You're like, that's what makes him amazing.
Imagine if you get to go in, like every single snap might be your last. Like give
Yeah.
it your all. Like whatever it
Yeah.
takes, man.
It's like a movie. It's seriously like The Replacements or something. You watch a guy, it's like, and then you get the little storyline for each guy, and it's like, oh, well, this is why he's better than everybody else. But it's like, it's just real life. Like, he's just an alien. He just does stuff nobody else does, that nobody else tries because they'd be insane.
I think I've said it before on the cast, but the thing that I love to watch when I watch Mahomes is I love watching pass rush defense because they every time it's just got to be the most terrible feeling to have him in your arms and then he still like throws for 12 yards and you're just like you have to get up from that and go, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like what more can I be doing?
Or he just spin moves you and you fall to the ground like an idiot and he runs away for a first down. You're like,
what am I? Now see that there are lots of quarterbacks
humans
that might
do
happen.
that,
Yeah.
right? Other humans do that.
Right, that's what I'm talking
the
about.
other stuff too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I missed a tackle, that's something that happens sometimes. But when I tackle him and I got him, and it didn't matter. That's the part that blows my mind.
The left-handed pass against the Broncos, Von Miller like sits up after tackling Mahomes' legs, looks to his right, like, what? He got the ball out? Like,
it was Von Miller too, right? Like
it's just like he's like
great
instant Hall of Famer. Like this guy's amazing. He's like trying to chase him down. He's just like outruns him for a long time, throws a left-handed first down, and then later in the interview, he's like, "Man, he didn't have to throw that left-handed. That's just mean." Like, he was so broken.
Yeah.
So you remember when we were talking about going for it on 4th down and like the odds and all that? So my boys had off today, so we were playing, and Gabe plays Madden 23 with me. Let me tell you something about this absolutely horrifying. Gabe will not kick the ball. He will go for it at 4th down, and he will go for 2 points conversions every time. Do you know how fucking hard of a football game that is?
Yeah,
because he makes most of it.
That's pretty standard on Madden, from what I understand.
Good lord! Like I don't play it like that.
Like, yeah, I think that Madden's a little unrealistic on how easy it is to stop like 2-point conversions and stuff. Because it's different when like the defense knows they only need to guard 4 yards. Like they need to guard the 2 yards on this side and the 2 yards on this side of the goal line. That's it. It's like it's much harder to do anything.
No, he goes for it every time, and I'm like, okay, 2 points plus this. I'm like, I think you're gonna win, you little shit. Like it's a mess. It's a total mess.
Yeah.
So, I was driving home yesterday, and I'm on the highway. I'm going about 55 miles an hour. I have one of those magnetic racks just to keep everyone in the know of what's happening here.
Oh boy, the Magna rack. Yeah.
I have a Magna rack. So all of my models, there's 140 now or something.
The story is starting badly.
You like this? Yeah. You're going down a tunnel, and the light you see is a fucking train. So
it's like when someone starts off, it's like, apparently my flood coverage had lapsed.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This is going to be a bad story. Like,
so I round a corner on I-70. We're going about 55. It's a little bit slower than normal. and this mother and fucker in front of all of us slams on their brakes. 2 cars go sliding into the guardrails, like along the side, and I slam my brakes on, trying not to rear end this guy. I do not rear end the guy. Guess how many models were left on the Magna rack?
4.
About 8. About 8.
Wow.
The rest of them went fucking flying. They crashed into my back of the vehicle I'm driving.
Yeah.
I couldn't even breathe. I was so upset. I get to pick up my children and I open my trunk. When I open the trunk, the Magna rack is, I swear to God, I'm not kidding, upside down. It is upside down.
Oh,
I pull the Magna rack out and I hear crunching. And I fucking pull it out.
No.
And there's only about 7, 8 models stuck on it. And I put it in my front. So the good news is I get home. I calm down. I wait I wait about an hour before I go out there and look
You
at this.
punch a wall for about 30 minutes.
Like I wait about an hour before I go out there.
I go
So
to
I
my
finally-
screaming room.
I take a tray and I start pulling them out. About 12 models had some sort of surgery that needed to be done. And I fixed them all. We're all back to par and we're good. But all of them now are on my mantle. And I will only be taking the ones that I need when I game now. So I finally learned my lessons. Thank you. Whatever fucking horrible thing is out there, karma like fucking me. Like, dude, that was the crunchiest.
Just in the future, if you just put it all the way forward in the back compartment to where it can't like go forward anymore, that doesn't really happen. I mean, you'll have some guys fall off just because of the weight and momentum and everything. But
when I was putting my list together for LVO today, I thought I had all my models out of my car. I couldn't find a couple. I lifted my
They're
tire.
like in the front seat.
No, I lifted where the tire goes, and I lifted the entire
shit.
back element. There was fucking like 5 models like stuck in the back holes of where things could like migrate to.
The nooks and the crannies.
Yeah. I think
like
I'll be finding models for about a month or 2, probably. Like, whatever.
3 years later, you're like, I definitely got them all, and then you need to get out your spare tire, and you find like, I don't know,
Viper.
Grizzly or what's his name, fucking Ursa Major, and you're like,
Oh yeah,
I totally forgot he exists.
I have
like,
the perfect Ursa Major list. No.
Yeah.
I was very upset, and then I was reminded I could have rear-ended the guy and also had to deal with that.
Yeah.
So I did not.
As soon as you heard the crunching, you should have just hit the gas. It's just rear-ended him on principle.
Oh, dude.
At least my insurance will pay for it now.
Honestly, if you have a Magna rack and it's in the back of your car, I'm sure you've had these thoughts, which is, how quickly can I slow down without throwing all these models forward? I was
With
doing
the
that.
proper preparation, the answer is very quickly. But if you just threw it in the back and weren't really thinking about it, and you have really strong magnets, then no, not that
Dude,
fast.
I came at that dude at full force, and I slammed my brakes on, and I was like, okay, please just not be as close as I think you are. And then my car is like, you know what, I'm going to help, because I have one of those cars.
That's right.
Yep, I have one of those cars. And it's like, I'm going to help, bro. And I'm like, please don't help.
I'm helping.
No, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. The thing was fucking upside down. Like, the entire rack was I go to lift it off, and the bottom part comes off. It was upside down so hard and, like, rattled so hard. Ugh.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you.
You know what? It
Yeah.
It only took, like, 45 minutes because...
In my experience, I've had it dumped once on me, and it really wasn't that bad.
No. And...
Because, like, the magnets absorb a lot of the shock when they get pulled off. Like, a lot of their inertia is lost in the removing of the magnets.
And I mean, as much as people like, oh, and you use plastic glue and all that shit, like I use super glue, so when things break, I just glue them back. It's not that big of a deal. So whatevs.
The last time I had a model broken was when Captain Squeezy Hands picked it up. Talk about you, Aaron. He's like picked up my model and like gauntleted fisted it into oblivion. I'm like, why? He's like, I don't like Toad.
He just mitten handsed it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I still think it's your fault. I don't think it's Aaron's fault.
Yeah.
My fault?
Yeah.
I
have this
blame
weird.
you.
I have this
I
weird
probably
feeling
said
it's your
something.
fault.
I'm not the only one, right? With these kind of feelings.
Yeah.
Aaron
Dude,
seems like he would have asked, and then you would have placed it in his hand, and it suddenly collapsed in his hand.
Did he look you like with dead eyes and say, "I play mission objective"? As he like crumbles
they
the
crushed it
toad
up.
down onto the ground,
Crunched it up in 1,000 pieces.
like,
and
like
threw it in
he's
your face.
crushing, like he's pepper crushing it onto the board.
I got to give
Perfect.
Brandon at least 50% on that one, though. It was Toad's
He threw it
tongue.
at you.
No, it was Toad's
Mm.
tongue. Now, I will say, I put the gentlest of pressures on it, and his tongue
Uh-huh.
just snapped off.
I do know
It's
you.
been broken
You
before.
do ticky tack things together, and yeah.
Mm.
You're like,
no,
"Don't-"
it's because it's been broken before because one of the Omaha guys like knocked him off my tray at the Omaha Bug Eater event, and so it's been re-glued is why it's so weak.
Gotcha.
I usually just don't pick him up by squeezing his face though. So
Clearly, that's what I did, yes.
I only pick things
Clearly.
up by squeezing faces.
yeah. All right. Do we have any other fun stories before we want to get into the main episode?
Nope. That's it.
I think I'm good to go. You gotta edit
Cool.
this today, man.
I know.
It's fucking LVO
I'm-
time.
Believe it or not, I am aware of that.
Let's roll.
I think you're confused. See, I've tried to explain this before. The time that we start recording is the important time. The time that we start the main topic is not the important time. Because that just gets moved around.
I see.
We're not increasing the length of the
Gotcha.
recording right now.
Yep.
It's just 2 hours and 15 minutes of recording.
Okay, so should I tell my Xanax story? Because it's really good.
Sure. go
Okay,
for it.
cool. First off,
I like Xanax.
yeah,
Good
no.
story.
First off, I want to say that this is a mental health story. So those folks that are
Okay.
getting ready to be cringe and all that shit, no. Okay, listen.
Just real quick, I
Yes.
feel like I have to say this.
Yes.
We had a listener comment. I want more Jeremy work stories. So just go ahead.
Are you serious? Did you really?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
I mean,
So
I
these
don't
are
wanna
actually
tell you
very
who it
related.
was, but
No, these
Yeah.
are very related. I appreciate that. So my work is crazy, and I work food and beverage business and all that shit. So I have a therapist and I have a psychiatrist, all that shit, and I get meds. Whatevs. Okay, a lot of people do. So Xanax, as cool as it is, even half a pill, which I take when I go to work, sometimes when it's stressful, will make you forget shit while playing tabletop games. Okay?
nope.
So,
Tell you.
no, listen. I have now played 2 separate games on 2 separate days where I'm playing the game and someone goes, "Hey, didn't that happen?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Hold on. I know what you're talking about. Can I,
I
tell
don't
the
know.
story?
No, go ahead, because it just happened again. It happened
my
with
God.
fucking.
So I'm working. I'm watching. I kind of walk by the table while they're playing, and they're in the cleanup phase. And so I look at Aaron. Aaron's like moving the score tracker and stuff. I look at Jeremy. Jeremy takes all the damage off of his bullseye model, puts it back in his tray, and then like moves some other stuff around, and then just kind of like waits for Aaron to be done. And so I'm like, okay, well maybe I'm just confused on what happened. Maybe he like played patch up at the end of the turn and didn't
Yep.
take damage off.
Yep.
So I kind of look at Aaron, and Aaron looks over at Bullseye and looks puzzled. I think perplexed, you might even say, and he goes, are you gonna turn Bullseye's card over?" And then he looks down and goes, "Oh, did you get him?" It fucking killed me.
So-
I don't, like just the way he said it is like, "Oh, did you get him?" Like he
Yeah.
just took the damage off.
No, and I honestly
Just-
meant it that way. Honestly,
I
like it
know.
wasn't me trying to fuck nobody. No, nothing. Like,
I know, obviously you weren't, and nobody was accusing you of that. But like, it's just
and that's why. And that's why I thought it was.
it's like,
important.
"Oh, this bloody knife!" Like it was just
Yeah,
like
no.
the most ridiculous.
This,
comment.
this
And that's
what-
why I brought
what
it
do you
up.
mean this murder weapon?
It was
'Cause
like
it
the
happened-
balls to deliver it with that devil may care attitude. Was just like,
Yeah.
it hit me.
No, it happened again with Ryan. We were playing a game. We played 2 games in a row. And the second game, like I was getting a little tired. And the thing is Xanax amplifies everything. Like if you've been drinking a little bit or you're a little tired, whatever. And like I think I cleared a model's card of like damage because he was looking at me sideways like, "I think I did damage." I'm like, "I don't know, did you?" Like it was so stupid. So for everyone that loves those work stories, you're fucking welcome because this is what happens. You need to keep track of me, man.
I think you
So
can,
I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to drink and take Xanax. I'm just gonna say that.
Hey, I don't drink and take Xanax, but I do get tired and take a pill or
And
two.
forget how much Xanax I've taken after I've had 3 years.
I
But,
think even better was the game before you played me. You were playing Malekith, MODOK, Shuri, and Wong.
Oh yeah, that was good too. But that was just me being stupid.
Oh my god.
With
That was just
Cabal,
'cause I'm
Dark Reign
stupid.
leadership, and everything else.
Yeah, the only game he remembers to use is fucking leadership.
Listen, I didn't have a leadership. That was a mess, and that was my fault. I'll take all of the blame for that.
Okay.
Some of the other parts of it, I don't know that I remember to take blame or not. It's a mess. It's a mess. I don't know.
Hold on, I have to add another thing to our T-shirt list. Oh, comma space. Did you get him?
Did you get him?
Question mark?
Fuck yeah.
There
Fuck
we
yeah,
go.
man.
That's on the list now. What the fuck? I don't even remember some of these.
What are they? Remind
All right.
us.
All right, so from oldest to newest, we have hard and flush. I don't know what the fuck
That's what she said.
That's
Yeah.
hard and flush.
A multiplicity of bailiwicks. I remember that.
yeah,
I
that
do
one's
remember that.
that one's important.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Can you just fucking try, please?
Yep,
know
I was
that
there.
Yeah, we were there for that one.
one. The gang checks the rules for him. I remember when we got some messages about that episode. Putting the style back in MCP since 2020.
Nice.
The gang sells T-shirts. The gang goes to a con. I play mission objective.
Yeah,
Dude,
And
That's
did
my
you get
local
'em?
favorite right now.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
that one.
I play Mission
So
Objective.
T-shirt update. I was gonna try and get some shirts done before LVO. It didn't work out. My first goal, as soon as we get back, is start working on shirts. So I would be looking for them sometime in February, I expect. The big issue right now is how we're going to distribute them, because if I get a bunch of orders for shirts and I'm paying a bunch of money to ship them out, that's a problem. So I'm trying to find a way that we can get it in like a more like an actual infrastructure type system going. Also, just PayPaling me is not the ideal situation either. So like I want to have a system in place. So anyway,
Is that what I heard? Did I hear that? Did you get them? Did that make it?
oh, did you get them?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
on
yeah.
the list.
Nice.
Part of me wants to do just like random ones, like just have a bunch of different ones printed, and when you get a shirt, it's just random.
Oh,
Like
that'd be
which one it
sweet.
says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you get a Coke that says like Nancy, thank you.
Yeah. Share this with Brandon. And
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know any Brandons. We're rare yet exceptional.
Mhm.
All right, so we got some news. Does anyone have the event list for LVO pulled up? Could someone get that?
I have it memorized. What do you need?
Okay.
I don't have like the exact times memorized, but
Just like the days.
I have it packed. But I know what's going on.
Well, I was going to reference it during the show, so.
Oh, you want
If
it like
somebody
pulled
wants
up?
Yeah,
Shit.
that's why I asked. Could someone pull that up? All right, Aaron, you want to get breakfast tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
Do you want to get breakfast at 8:30?
No.
Okay.
I want to get breakfast at 9.
I want to be going through security at 9.
I gotta take my kids to school and stuff, so I'm doing like a whole
Yeah.
thing.
I'll get my own fucking breakfast then.
Get your own fucking breakfast. You're a fucking adult. Deal with
Where's
your...
everyone parking? I've never parked at KCI before.
Economy parking.
Economy
They
park.
just
Yep.
call it
Yeah. So you go to economy parking, and then you'll see these covered sheds with
Mhm.
numbers above them.
I've
Take
driven by them.
a picture of which one it is, so you know which one to go back to.
Yep.
And then
I'll
a
just-
bus
I'll just
will
remember it.
be by in the next X many minutes, usually less than 15 or 20.
You'll know your parking lot because they're separated by provider. So there'll be like they'll say if you wanted to ride Southwest, use this parking lot, and then the bus will go to just that terminal.
Gotcha. Does anyone know how much it costs?
Like $7
$7 a day.
You pay when you get back, I assume. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's usually coupons also. Like there's usually coupons if you're willing to look for them. Sarah always has a coupon for like a day
Yeah, I
off or
don't
something
know.
like that when we get back.
I don't know about coupons, but it's way easier than you can imagine. You just pull in there, and the big deal is remembering where you're at, because when you come back.
It's in Missouri, so I just plan on shooting my way out.
There you go. It's fine.
Yeehaw!
Lawless land, yeah.
Okay, I have LVO pulled up.
Cool. What's the team event? Is it just doubles?
No, it's triples.
It's triples, but you're in the invitational, so you're fucked.
No, I'll just lose on purpose. Drop play.
You can't drop, man. They're not gonna let you.
No one can stop me from doing anything.
They will let you, although it is encouraged to play all 6 rounds.
Got it.
I want.
Also,
it's not single elimination.
It is, but they want people to shoot for like best in affiliation. So they're trying to get away
That
from
sounds like. Do you know what single elimination means?
Yes.
Okay. How is it single elimination if they want you to play more than like one after your last?
It is not. Okay, sorry, it's not single elimination.
Oh,
no.
okay.
No.
Okay.
You clearly can no longer win the event once you lose one.
I see.
But they're trying to encourage everyone to play 6 so they can.
That's implied.
Cool. So once you lose,
I thought you meant like you're done when you.
No.
I was like, how you gonna get?
No.
Okay.
all right. So you can do that, and then me, Brandon, and Parker will play in the team tournament. To be fine.
When's the team tournament?
Sunday.
What time?
All day.
10:30. 10:30.
Once the game starts, we'll leave.
Shit, that's right. Yeah.
Once the game starts, we'll leave. Or we can just play scrambles. Whatever. I don't even care. I'm gonna watch the game.
So when's the qualifier then? Isn't it like Saturday
Friday.
and Sunday?
No. Well, the qualifier's Friday, yes. The invitational is Saturday, Sunday.
And so that's what 3 and 3, I assume.
Correct.
What time does it start? Like 10ish as well
What day?
on Sunday.
Sunday starts at 9. What time's the game start?
It's in the evening.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking, what are the odds? Like, if I actually lose, like to drop and still sign up for the team event, I'd really like to play in the team event.
I know.
I
I
think a
would
team
too.
event's awesome.
Especially
I have
if
never
like,
once done a team event ever.
Really?
That's fun.
yeah,
All right, you're with me.
Yeah.
it's 3s though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We can use any one of you. Whomever
Who's
is the
we?
weakest.
Who's we?
He and Parker.
Me and Parker.
All right, yeah. So whichever one of us has the most losses will drop and play teams.
I mean, Parker's dice though, like they're probably not going to let him lose. I got to be honest.
I agree.
You could all just be paired with a rando, so they don't require full teams to sign up.
I'm not touching nobody else. Like, look,
I know.
No, it's
When
way
I-
more fun with
when I get in
friends.
the sauna, I'm not. No.
The so
No.
the Chiefs game is 5:30 Central Time.
Jesus
so it'd be 6:30. Be 6:30 Mountain Time.
No.
Is
Three-
Vegas West Coast?
It is West Coast. It will be 3:30 p.m. local.
Man, that's
Yeah.
going to be rough. Maybe I'll just play craps until 3.
Wait, what? The game is at 3:00?
West Coast time.
I did pack my jersey, so
I also packed my jersey.
Parker,
I expect to get stabbed.
Team Chiefs. You're gonna need to, if you want to be on Team Chiefs, you're gonna need to pack a fucking jersey.
Wait,
I don't wear
Mahomes,
jerseys,
right?
but I have my Lucky shirt.
wait. You have a Mahomes jersey, right?
You know
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Well, I don't actually remember. I only remember Jason because he's got a Tyreek Hill jersey, which is fun.
Ooh, I can bring my white one just in case. So then
No,
Parker.
say I have an extra red one.
There you
so I
go.
can
So we
just
can all
bring
be
one for
red
Parker.
Mahomes jerseys.
It's
I-
definitely gonna be bulky.
I will not wear a jersey. I cannot see.
All right. Well, you're
jerseys.
off the team. We'll have parents.
God damn it. Perrin will wear a jersey.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
small,
wait,
we
you're
can
talking
hold him
about for the team tournament. I thought you meant like one.
Yes.
one
Oh,
game.
it's too late. It's too late, Parker.
No, you're off. You're
Don't
off the team.
try.
Well,
No,
I
no,
will
no,
not wear
sir.
a jersey. I've never done a
Listen
team
to
tournament.
that
I don't have
shit.
to start this weekend.
God damn it. We don't even want him on our team anyway. Are we
I-
silent right now? Are we separate? Can he hear me? I don't want him to be on my team.
Zoom meeting.
I don't want Parker to be on my team.
I hate jerseys so much.
Why?
I think they're amazingly uncomfortable.
Oh, you just don't have good jerseys. That's the problem.
Can Parker hear us? I think Parker's trash. He can't hear us right now, right?
I love how you didn't wait for an answer. Can he hear us right now? You know what? I don't give a shit.
I've been wanting to say that for a while. Parker's trash.
But the best part is, if somebody would have immediately, as quickly as you said that, said, "Oh yes," that wouldn't have stopped you from continuing to announce that I am trash.
Exactly. I didn't even wait
Parker's
for
in
an
the breakout
answer.
room, right?
I didn't wait for an answer.
Parker, hear me, right?
Oh, boy.
Fuck that guy.
Oh boy. All right, so Parker, I'm going to bring the extra jersey.
No, I I'm not gonna wear a jersey.
All right. Well, you have two choices. You can wear the jersey, or you not be on the team.
Okay.
Between me and you, like, we're pretty big. Like, we can.
What if you
hold
tie
down.
it around your face, so it's just like a giant like head
Now,
diaper?
if you had a football helmet, I would wear a football helmet.
I have a Chiefs football helmet.
He's gonna wear a helmet on the jersey. Here's
I
our
did look
idiot
this up.
friend.
You can take a football helmet on a plane. I looked it up.
Oh, that would be terrible. It's just like you're bringing a whole football helmet. Please tell me
It's horrifically uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You would have a terrible time.
Oh, okay. So it's not like an actual helmet. It's like just a piece of
No,
plastic.
it's a foam helmet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
It's
terrible.
for like my Halloween costume.
It's gonna suck for you, but you're gonna wear
Yeah.
it.
It's just like a foam shell in the shape of a football helmet, but it's got like a plastic face mask bolted to it.
Well, if you bring a Chiefs jersey and we want to do a team tournament in Chiefs jerseys, I will wear a Chiefs jersey. I'll do it for the team tournament.
I mean, look at that
That's
kind of dice we're gonna get, Brandon. I mean, think about it. How can we lose? Me or you win a game, he's gonna win. Like, you know his dice.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I, in fact, feel bad for his opponents.
I actually do feel bad for his opponent.
Yeah, they have no
It's
idea.
not related to his dice luck, just in general.
The way I'm going to wear that jersey will be terrible, but we'll do it.
He's gonna wear it from like he's gonna have like the knot in the front, like white trash.
I cannot stand them, but I will do it.
We're gonna be like dressing a child. He's gonna be screaming in the hallway. We're trying to
Fighting his
like
way through it.
fucking just put it on him.
My desire for the aesthetic of matching overwhelms my desire for comfort, so I think that'd be fine.
And that's the way America works. Welcome to
Parker,
the club.
I need to let you know something. I was talking to John yesterday,
Mhm.
and he told me that he wants to start making bets for you with your probationary episodes.
That's
Okay, I agree.
exactly the wrong. That's not how any betting has ever worked.
I don't know. I think that's how people bet with the U.S. economy. Is you just bet
Yeah.
with other people's well-being.
It's like a
I'm not gonna
financial
let-
advisor, but it's a betting advisor. You
I'm
just
not
give
going to
him
let
your
John
episodes.
be my probationary advisor. No.
So
Look.
what I'm thinking is,
Yeah.
I'll just give him like 200 of your episodes, right? And then he can invest them and get returns however he sees fit.
It's like a 401k.
And then
You know what? Yeah, you
but-
know what? If John wants to meet with me and talk about diversifying my probationary episodes, then I will have that conversation with him. But I'm not
Yeah.
going to have that through you. If he's
See-
going to become my
Nah, it's already
yeah.
happened.
So
It's already happened.
what you need is like, because like debt consolidation loans, you need a debt diversification loan.
Yeah, I just
Where
need,
you could
yeah.
spread this debt around into a bunch of different places and then gamble it individually in those different
I want you to know. I
locations.
think I'm willing to take high risk for this. I think I'm willing to do it.
Listen, we've
I
got
think
bad
I
news.
think I have.
Here's
I
the
think
thing.
I have the
We're trying to
principle
tell you
for
you
it.
have bad news.
I don't know. Parker, do you know what John's profession is? I'm curious.
I don't know what John's profession is.
Well, I'm not going to say it on the air because I don't know how private of a person he is, but I'll message it to you. And
Okay.
I'm gonna just give me a yes or no if that makes you feel more or less. Less
I'm picturing.
confident.
I'm picturing
as-
a little sound in my ear, like, "Doot," and I look and it says "loan shark." It's just like,
Yeah.
bookie.
All right. Does this make you more or less confident about him using your capital?
Oh, that's why he's always been so excited to do that. Yeah, I didn't know that's what he did. That's cool.
Yeah. Everything's coming into focus for Parker.
Yeah. Well, now I got to talk to him about this diversification idea. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
hold
I'm
on a
sure he
second.
has. I'm sure
We-
he has a
why
portfolio.
have we
for
not
me.
gotten together before?
Yeah.
He has
Well,
some big
to be-
ideas.
To be honest, I didn't have a lot of probationary episodes before. How could I have invested them wisely? Like, there's no percentage in there. Like, it would take years of podcasting with just 800 probationary episodes. But I'm looking at what I'm looking at nearly 1,500. There's got to be.
Oh,
way
your
to make
lifetime.
it. Yeah.
You're committed.
Mhm.
My favorite stat about the podcast all time is Parker owns 100% of all probationary episodes I've ever existed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I mean,
rolling
yeah.
in them. And they're just.
wanna,
And
I
they're
wish
just.
this was a video cast. I would just have a whiteboard behind me. Aaron underline 0. Jeremy underline 0. Brandon underline 0. Parker underline 1475.
And they're
It's
just.
like, what the
And
fuck?
right now, they're just sitting there not working for me at all. Every once in a while, I take a few out to bet on Captain America, but then it just sits there most of the time. It could be working for me.
It seems
Every
bad.
once in a while, he
It
takes
seems
them
bad.
out to bet them on Captain America.
Yeah, seems bad.
I'm pretty sure that he could help me out. At
I
first, I
mean-
was against the idea of anybody touching my money, like most people would be. But now I
I
understand.
think most people are all for about people touching their money.
Nah, I don't want. I didn't like that at first. I come from my father buries his money in the woods still
Yeah.
to this day. He does. He told
You
me
have
once.
that.
I once asked him, Dad, what will happen when you die? What will happen to all that money in the trees? His favorite thing to do is put it in mason jars and hide it in the trees, like in the nooks and crannies of trees. I was like, how? Aren't you worried one day the trees will just like grow over it or something? It'll just like be absorbed into the trees. And he'll say, no, I got a system. He's never told anyone that he loves the system. No one knows how or when or if we
This
can
feels
retrieve
like a
it.
real Ron Swanson situation when he's like, "What do these symbols mean?" The thing that kills me will know.
Yeah, the man that kills me.
It's like a fucking To Kill a Mockingbird
Yeah.
fucking system.
All of
But
that
it-
Ron Swanson
yeah.
jokes about that. As soon as it left his mouth, I go, "That's my fucking dad." Like that is 100%.
You have
my
found
dad
my
is.
fake gold.
Yeah.
I would not
That's
bury my
decoy
real
gold.
gold. Yeah.
But Aaron, you knew that last time my father went on a trip, which was like 12 years ago, he never leaves his house. And the reason why is because, he's worried somebody might come and take his stuff. So last time he went on a trip, he gathered his arsenal of guns that he has. He wrapped them in like weatherproof sacks, and then he hid them throughout the woods so that no one could get his arsenal. And then when he came back home, he reassembled his arsenal in his basement again.
Your father sounds like my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Similar story. Like my wife's inheritance is a Super Bowl I ring, and he moved to Puerto Rico and he buried it in the yard under a tree somewhere. And he's like, "Oh, it was your favorite childhood tree." She's like, "I have no fucking clue."
She's like, "What are you talking about? I didn't have a
Holy
favorite
shit.
tree." Like, I saw you out by that tree a lot. She's like, "Yeah, that was how long ago? I don't know what that fucking tree looks like now."
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I know exactly where my favorite childhood tree is.
This is some like fucking Shawshank Redemption shit. You're like
There will
walking
be a
down a
tree.
beach and kick over a rock and
So,
like find
It
a
doesn't
note.
belong there.
Exactly. Like what the
I'm trying
fuck?
to think. I could get to my childhood home right now. Like I could get there. I have no idea where my second house was. Like if you gave me a month to find out, I couldn't do it.
Mm.
Like I literally have no idea. Like there's a lot of the places I've lived I could get to again just from like context. Like I knew what town it was in and stuff. But, like I don't even know what town the duplex I lived in as my second home was. I know it was in Kansas. Like that's it.
Hmm.
I could look for weeks and not find it.
That's an interesting thing. I have one home like that. Sure, one home that I have no idea of. I have a memory of it, but I don't have any idea where it is. But I was in kindergarten where we left it, so that makes some sense.
Right. I would have been probably 3rd or 4th grade.
Mm.
But we just lived there so short, and it just never. I can vaguely remember what school I was in, but like I don't know the full name of the school. I know it had a grove in it. That was about it.
That narrows it down.
It does. It actually legitimately narrows it down a lot. The state and a name, a word in the name. Like we could get close, but like I don't know where I lived in relevance to the school. I guess we could try and get the records of my home address at the time.
I was gonna say if you name a school and the last name is Hills or Woods or Grove or Ridge, you've narrowed it down to like 1/4 of all the schools in the nation. They're almost all of them named, or a cardinal direction, or a combination of a cardinal direction and those 4.
Cardinal direction.
They always name them cardinal directions. It's just sometimes they go
'cause
really
they're
crazy.
in a district.
Sometimes
so it's like
they go-
Olathe
Yeah.
North High School,
Yeah.
Olathe South High School.
Yeah. It makes some sense,
Yeah.
but
You know what? If you told me that like, oh, this is blah 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 West Middle School, yeah, I bet that narrowed down by like 1/4. You know, that's an interesting point.
But you think that, but what happens is they name those buildings and then they expand the districts and they redraw shit, and pretty soon the West School is south of the North School. Sorry, but is north of the South School. Like that kind of shit happens. Or
Oh no, sure, like that, but there's never like like 2 Wests in a district, right?
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. My favorite one is
And there's
the,
not always 4, but sometimes I'm sure there's more than 4.
Yeah.
Like there's Central and stuff.
This reminds me of the my favorite episode of Community, the show Community, which is the Civil War documentary episode, because they start talking about the different battlefields and where they fought on the campus, and they had the Battle of North Cafeteria, which is actually named for Oliver North, but south of East Gym, which was named for Francis Reginald East, which is actually just southwest of. Like all of them were named after people who had cardinal names in their names. And none of it made any sense.
You're like, where the fuck are we?
No, all of them were all of them were named for, or the other one was I can't remember. It was the auditorium named for Wilhelmina Auditorium, but it wasn't an auditorium. It was a fax lab.
Yeah. Oh,
Community
was great.
That whole episode is brilliant, but the description of the lay of the campus, it was amazing.
Speaking of Community, did you know that obviously Rick and Morty is made by the same creator? It's Dan Harmon. Did you know that Rick and Morty parted ways with the voice of Rick and Morty today?
Yep.
What do you mean parted?
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
He is no longer associated with the Rick and Morty show.
The guys who are voicing
he
them?
got up to some shit, it sounds like.
Just the voices or Dan Harmon?
Yeah, the voice.
No, the guy Rick. It's Rich.
Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland, yeah. The guy who does a lot of the voices in the show.
Wow.
Apparently, he beats people.
Yeah, he got some domestic violence charges that just came to light, and so they parted ways with him.
Like felony charge, kind of crazy shit.
Yeah. Sad.
But I mean, he did do like a dozen shots in front of like the camera and like did voices and stuff.
Oh, sure,
yeah. It's sad, but I mean, not.
I actually heard it was
surprising.
actually they had some friction recording with him because like his method was get super wasted and do the lines was how he got the voices.
Yeah.
But he was apparently a total asshole when he was super drunk. Kind of like Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
He was always an asshole, apparently.
Yeah, no, he was always an asshole. The funny part I liked about the Community, if you've ever seen Community, the joke was they just didn't give him lines. He was just that racist and annoying. That's my favorite joke about Community.
Yeah, those like super self-destructive actors. What's really sad to me is only somebody who's like that self-maligned and like that terrorized by their own like past and mind somehow can create these amazing, unique characters. I think like Chevy Chase is amazing, but obviously super maladjusted, right? This Justin Roiland does a great job with this voice acting, but very maladjusted. Even the method is maladjusted. It's strange.
Similar for like drugs and artists and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yep.
Like you have to be able to free the mind to that level to create at that level.
But you'll also destroy your mind in the process.
Exactly. You destroy yourself at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, let's get to it. Go. Podcast. Go. Form of Infamous. I don't know. All right, I'll stop.
I was like, has this been happening the whole time? Did I miss it?
Wait.
This is a
Yeah,
bit.
how drunk am I? Does he normally do this?
Yeah. He might be on Xanax.
All right, here we go.
Feels so good.
Aaron looked really excited when I said Vegas and really unexcited after
So
that.
good.
Have you ever heard that before, Aaron? It's like when you're traveling, people will post on like social media. It's like Denver, I am in you. And when people hear this, we'll be in Vegas
I abhor social media, so
or
that was clear.
dead. We might be dead.
It's possible.
Unfortunately, I know the percentage is way too much. I know they're very small, but they exist.
Okay,
I've seen way more play crashes than I want to see, considering I don't like flying.
so should I take Red Skull over something else? Help me.
What?
Yes.
You don't have your list done yet? We did this last week.
No, my list is done now.
Okay, good. So there's no conversation then?
Shut the fuck up.
I changed my
Aaron
list.
had mentioned it. I posted my list up. And
I have not had time to keep up with Discord. What is your list?
Where
This
is it?
shit
The
at
podcast show?
8:02 p.m.
it's on
Malekith
fucking-
23.
Yes.
You got Mordo, Zemo, Bob, Ebony
Yeah.
Maw, Hulk, Killmonger, MODOK, Wong, Malekith, Shuri. Who
So-
would you be cutting?
It would
Ebony
be
Maw?
Maw. Yeah.
Normally I would say Red Skull's better, but Ebony Maw with the leadership of Malekith is pretty good.
Yeah. I like
Have you
Maw
considered-
for moving and all the things that Maw can do and throw shit. Yeah. What are you considering?
Well,
what?
so the only redundancy I see in your list is Mordo, Zemo, Shuri. You've got several threes, which I assume you're only ever going to play one of.
Probably.
So why Zemo?
Charging senators, that kind of thing.
Charging senators.
Because I can move and attack and whatnot. I don't know that senators
So-
is a thing
so
that I really care
It's
that
either
much about.
Shuri or Mordo then that you're cutting.
I'm not
if you
cutting
think-
Shuri. Shuri's a
Okay,
hammer.
then a hammer.
Shuri is the like kick in the dick to everybody.
I like Shuri personally, but
No, I think she's phenomenal. I'm not dropping Shuri.
so I personally I think Zemo is the obvious cut
And Zemo could be
so-
cut. I'm not saying he can't. That's fine.
because Mordo's affiliated, right?
Yes.
I think Mordo adds more to the list.
Sure.
Like there's more combos, there's more stuff. He's
I know you
he's
like I
fast.
I know you like him. He's fine. He's good.
But honestly, you shouldn't be having 3 or more 5-point drop-ins. Like I think that's.
I
too much.
agree. And that's why I was like, but I do like Maw and I do like his
Are you
card.
ever playing Ebony Maw and MODOK?
I don't think so.
Like never.
I don't know. I haven't played enough games.
Okay.
Really, Maw is what's on the table. Like, what does the table look like? What's the scenario? Like, I can play him, but I don't know.
So the only reason I say Skull 2 is because it gives you those troopers to just sit back.
Oh no, I 100%
so-
understand.
Yeah.
He was floating back and forth. Like,
So at 17 points, you can do 557
Yep.
and have a legitimate
Mhm.
list at 557.
100% agree. Yes, 100%. So
I
who
think
do
the
I
fact-
drop?
The fact that he brings an extra model, I think, is so much more utility for this kind
No,
of
it's
list where
so
you
good.
often- and he's also a
Absolutely.
Cabal model. I think Maw is never going to do more for you than he will. I don't think there's a situation
Yeah,
where you reach.
yeah. I think you should cut Maw
Okay.
because the only reason Maw is going to do the work you want is that you're also taking either Shuri or Murdo, and they don't synergize as well with him as Red Skull does.
Yeah, I like the Maw for the Steve matchup, being that I can walk Steve away from shit, and I can
Sure.
also kill him pretty easily. Like, Maw kills Steve pretty easy.
MODOK kills Steve pretty easy too. It's same. It's actually better math.
because it's all mystic attacks.
Yeah,
so he
maybe.
can't do his shit.
Yeah, it's
None-
Mystic. He's
None
got
of his
rerolls.
none of his
though.
shit works.
They both are
Yeah.
Mystic. I like the
Yeah.
idea. And I won't think twice about switching those two. I'm
Yeah,
okay
the
with
problem
either
is
way.
Ebony Maw's board manipulation is dice dependent, and MODOK's is not. That's the
Correct.
big difference. Also, MODOK's affiliated. I just don't know why you'd play Ebony Maw. If you were going to
And-
play Ebony Maw, you wouldn't take MODOK.
Correct. And I don't know that happens that much.
Yeah.
And I like that Skull is affiliated, so he can use the Dark Rain if I
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah. Well, now
And-
Dark Rain's kind of useless with him, in my opinion, because you're only rerolling blocks.
Sure.
It's not that good.
It's not that good,
um,
but it's something.
Smash, however, is very solid. Like, just any more dice you can get on him is
Yeah.
better. Black Bifrost on him is awesome.
No. We were talking about that earlier. Like,
yeah.
Black Bifrost is sick.
Yeah.
Like, just drop
And it's
him
good
on
with
somebody.
Ebony Maw too, but it's like less good because he's such long range for like.
Well, Ebony Maw doesn't also hold an objective and then wander about the board.
So even without Black Bifrost, I've played games with Ebony Maw where he didn't advance. He took 0 move
Yeah.
actions in Convocation.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'll
No.
just stand here and people.
Without the
defeat me.
Space Stone, he's a different thing entirely.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it works
So
out.
the fun option would be Ebony Maw is your 6-pointer with the Space Stone, and you cut Hulk. I don't know that it's good, but that's the legit option.
I was going to say, I don't think that that's what I want to do. I think Hulk is
Yeah.
there for if they've got a big damager as well.
No, Hulk is a whole thing
Yeah,
on his own,
yeah.
and Ebony Maw is different. But if you were looking to get Ebony Maw on the list, I think it's as a 6-pointer, not as what he is.
No, I
as a
agree.
5.
Again, I was looking for the argument in what I need
Yeah.
to do here because those were kind of like spaces that I'm just not certain of. Because I don't really use Ebony Maw that much anymore, but I used to.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh wait, I can put Hulk in there for certain points, and I don't need Ebony Maw because I have MODOK. It just doesn't work out the same. And I mean, I've been playing a lot of Shuri with that matchup because now it's instead of 14, it's 15. So Shuri drops in there with the rerolls of everything. It's really good.
Do you guys know how drunk you can be and get on a plane?
Not
you can't,
visibly intoxicated.
Yeah, you can't be visibly like drunk.
Yeah.
Not at all?
No.
You can be tired, but you can't be drunk.
Oh, I see. So like I can be like tired.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can't
I don't like flying, so
Well, they
game day.
they say I can't be on a plane. I can't be a pilot.
I just have vertigo. I get dizzy.
My stomach hurts. That's why I threw up on that guy.
My plan is just sit in the parking lot until you guys show up and pound beers, and then get on the plane,
Oh Jesus!
and then only have limited screaming.
Have you heard of Roy Boggs? What was his
Wade
name?
Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Weird bugs.
You
Wade
heard of-
Boggs once drank 70
Wade
beers
Boggs.
on an airplane, got off the airplane, and then went 3 for 6 in a fucking live baseball game. Wade Boggs is a legit legend.
Oh my God! Are you not a planes guy?
I don't like flying.
Really?
So it's not the like I understand all the bullshit physics that keep the plane in the air,
Sure.
and I'm not afraid of dying. I just have really bad like lack of control over life and death situation stuff, and I know unfortunately like my fear of flying has gone up since I've been involved in the aviation industry, and it's just like I don't fucking like it. And like, once the plane's way up high, I'm fine. It's just when it takes off and they always bank right as they get off the ground, and it's just like something in my stomach and my brain just immediately go into I'm going to die situation, and it's just a problem.
Yeah, I still want to take you up in a Cessna. Holy shit!
No, I actually like the act of flying. I really enjoy. It's just like there's that like falling reaction that triggers in my stomach, and God, it does not agree with me. I fucking hate it. Like if you told me it's like you have a 20% chance of dying by getting on this plane, I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, I don't care. It's the actual like physical response my body has
the sensation
to banking near the ground. It's just weird. I'm not afraid of dying. Like whatever, I die. Like I die. It's over. Like I'm not afraid of hitting the ground. I'm not afraid of falling. I'm afraid of like the plane takes off and just takes a right turn into the ground. Like I don't know why I can't break that concept in my brain, but it's just a natural fear response. I hate it. I also don't like roller coasters for that exact same reason.
I don't like roller coasters.
It's like the gut reaction you have to the velocity change. Like I don't know.
Anymore, planes are like a bus for me. I'm like, you fucking white trash motherfuckers. Can't you just get here at the same time as me? Like, let's just go. Come on, go.
Oh, yeah. Once the plane's in the air, I will have a great time. And I don't even mind the landing part that much. It's the taking off part. I don't know why it fucking hits me.
Yeah, it's just a hassle. We'll get there.
Yeah, I don't like I don't know. I just like all I can think about is like all the shit that can go wrong.
I actually read
the sensation.
Michael Crichton wrote a book called Airframe, and that's all about that and like what has to go wrong to make a plane all completely fucked up and crazy.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly rare.
God, like it's
so
insane.
I'm not afraid of the mechanical problems. I'm afraid of the human error.
Sure, and
like that's the problem is
about.
I know what the human error is. Like there's a very so like everyone knows Sully landing in the Hudson, right?
Yeah,
like, that's super famous.
Yeah.
What people don't know is nearly fucking 1,000 people died because some idiot on a radio said cleared to Airway 7 at Chicago O'Hare and nearly killed 1,000 people because he just didn't fucking check the landing way. And so 2 planes almost hit each other on the ground at full speed and nearly killed each other. And the only reason that everyone didn't die is the guy broke what the guy thought, what the company thought was the physical restrictions of the airplane to take off at a certain speed. The only reason everyone didn't fucking die is because the guy had flown heavy lift airframes in the fucking army for 20 years before he became a commercial pilot. And he was able to get the plane off the ground as soon as fucking physically possible and missed the 747 by 12 feet. It's like, yeah, but nobody knows about that. And it's like, I just hate it. I fucking hate it. Like, I just don't want to be on the ground. I just, if you said I could just teleport to 100 feet in the air, I'd be fine. Basically, tower controllers are fucking deadly. That's basically my understanding.
You are not wrong.
Yeah, tower controllers, fuck them. Like, I do not trust tower controllers for fucking 1 inch. But like en route controllers, sure, like all day.
Cool. So all that said, more importantly, should I think about Sentinel Prime?
No.
Why?
It's a 5-point support piece. You want less support and more gas.
Wow, I don't think he's support at all.
See, Aaron disagrees.
Sentinel Prime?
Yeah.
See, Aaron disagrees.
See,
Don't-
Aaron disagrees.
He's a lot less support than MODOK is.
But what about both?
No, if you're doing 2 5-pointers, it's Red Skull 2 and MODOK.
Red Skull 2 MODOK. So that's 17, right?
Yeah. And you're fully affiliated for Dark Reign if you want it. Because the only option is drop one of them for Sentinel Prime.
Correct.
I think I would rather run Ebony Maw than Sentinel Prime, but I think that is a question. I think there's a talking point there. There's not a talking point at MODOK and Red Skull.
Mm-hmm. No, my base in every single list is going to be Malekith and MODOK. Like, that's it. Like, they drop, and then whatever else fills in.
Trying to think if there's like, if you're running a Demons Montesi, if you need the grunts, right?
I think you do. That way I get to go even more forward. I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it at all.
I'm not sure there's a scenario where you don't use them.
In my experience, the Flying V is very effective.
The Flying V.
That's what I call it, the Flying V.
On the other hand,
Giant cock.
I'm not sure you
Yeah.
care about points at all. Like, if your goal is table every game.
Yeah, but tabling everybody every game is not a thing. Like, it's
I know.
it's a
You
thing
still
sometimes.
you need to stay in
but-
it because sometimes they'll
Yeah.
get to like 11. And you're like, if you're at 3, that's not
Yeah.
good.
No, you can't catch back up. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
So you need points.
I'm trying
Also,
to think.
the grunts are just so useful in a lot of dumb situations. Like you go against Hulkbuster and you just backstop yourself with them, so he can't push you away. Like there's a lot of times the grunts are surprisingly useful
Yeah.
in weird spots.
I agree. I also
Yeah.
really love me some Scent Prime. I want to play it more.
No, and we've been talking about that. Like, I think there's a good spot for him. I just don't think because of Dark Reign that I need to worry about it. Dark Reign and also, like I say, Shuri. Like, if the points allow it, Shuri's just stupid. She's just so stupid. The only thing I was thinking about replacing Shuri with was Zola, because Zola gets the same basically effect and he's Cabal, but he's kind of shitty version of like Shuri,
Yes.
Yes.
right? Like I'm not crazy, right? Like
No,
he's just
he
kind
is
of
the bad
shitty.
version of Shuri that exists in Hydra.
I was like, I roll a skull and I damage my what the fuck is happening? I don't like that.
I don't think he hurts himself, but yeah.
Yeah, he does like a point of damage to whoever's doing like
I don't think so.
there's
I don't know,
something
let's
with
see.
it. Yeah.
I believe he has the scientific hubris.
He
thing.
just
Let's
gains
see.
power.
Yeah, he gets power. He doesn't damage himself. Zola.
He is a
When
more
he-
damaging, less ranged, less scenario disruption version of Shuri.
Hydra engineering is if he can re-roll dice, but then if he rolls a skull, then he suffers bleed, but not a damage.
He suffers bleed. Sure, he doesn't suffer that.
He's immune to bleed, so he doesn't suffer it.
But if somebody
But,
uses
uh,
the reroll and they roll a skull,
If you re-roll somebody else's dice, they get bleed.
No, I don't need that. Thank you though.
Yeah, no, he's
No, thank
not
you.
good.
No,
He's
thank
just
you.
He's a bad version of Shuri that
Yeah.
synergizes better with Hydra.
Yeah, I would
So,
say
yeah,
he doesn't.
You
synergize
don't
very
need
well.
it.
The only other model I was looking at was Sabretooth because he does like punch holes in like ships. Like he's fucking crazy good, but
It ships.
don't think
It's an old wooden
the
ship.
old wooden ship.
Anyway, we gotta get out of here because I still have to edit and post.
edit.
this crap.
Fucking let's go, man. Bye.
We'll edit now. Just edit it now.
Do it.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Wish us luck at LVO. If you're gonna be at LVO, come say hi. I'll be wearing a Hawaiian shirt, probably a black or red one. We'll see. how drunk I get. Also, I'll be the guy talking very loudly. Aaron will be the guy not talking. Parker will be the guy pretending to be your friend, and Jeremy will be the guy hanging out with us. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend. We did it. That's it, right? Anybody else want to say anything?
No, that's perfect.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks. We just tail along fucking Brandon's dick. Just whatever Brandon says, that's what we do.
Hopefully not. You guys just won't say anything.
I'll be busy winning games, motherfucker.
Jeremy, hurry up, say something, go.
Good night, bye.